welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC number 125, your weekly dose of all things StarCraft. I'm of course VIP with you and joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome and all. As we dive into our first series of the broadcast. Again, for those that are just tuning in, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we do have the Sparkling Tuna Cup. This is the longest running open cup in StarCraft, longer running than Wardy TV Mondays, Pickster Cups, Monday Night Weeklies, KSLs, and of the like. We've been running this for many years, and I'm sure many years to come as well. If you want to support this tournament, if you want to support the Tuna Cup, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat, and you'll get a link to our Patreon, Patreon page where you can help support the tournament and boost the prize pool even further for Tuna Cups, for Duckling Opens, and for Master Swan Opens as well, all funded via the Patreon. But here we go, we're jumping on in this morning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the pink Protoss player, we have the South Korean Protoss, representing among us the two people, it is Rebellion. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the yellow Protoss player from the land of Hong Kong. It is Cossit. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of three. Catching up with the chat, I will quickly say, of course, a big shout out to Moritori. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 26 months, papi. 26 months of Twitch Prime as well. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you've been enjoying the casting and the StarCraft. Thank you, papi. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the support. We do appreciate it. As we're delving into our first matchup here, again, !be in the chat to have a look at the rest of the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we can delve into the rest of the bracket after this series. For now, we're focusing on our PvP. So far, so good. A 2-gate opener out of Rebellion, likewise a 2-gate opener out of Cossit as well. Everything's looking normal, everything's looking standard, at least so far, and we'll see how our players do deviate as the second pylons get thrown down. No proxies, no shenanigans. After this morning's broadcast, I appreciate it. If you weren't here this morning, we were casting StarCraft Evolution, and it was honestly non-stop cheese, non-stop aggression, non-stop all-ins. I don't think we ever got a PvP where we had a pylon inside the main. The second pylon, I mean, it was always proxy robo, proxy gateway, proxy blink, proxy all-ins, non-stop. It was crazy. But now we can calm down and we can settle into an expansion. We can settle into a macro game. So far, so good. So 2-gate opener into his own at natural. Rebellion is expanding. Likewise, Cossit is as well. There is a pylon block, so Rebellion, he will force out some units. He will delay the expansion. Cheeky start here for Rebellion as the pylon even finishes. Meanwhile, across the map, we are still waiting for our own expand. It is going to be, double adept into quadruple adept, actually. That's a lot of adepts. Oh my god. A lot of adepts are going to be moving out as we can threaten the mineral lines and dive into said main. Likewise, nice block here. Nice block on the other adepts of his opponent. So far, so good. There's that natural expansion. Rebellion keeping up. Oh! Does shade in time. Yeah, does shade does wish to move out. As Rebellion moves out, Cossit will be moving in. Nice moves here from our yellow Protoss. Nice move so far. We're here for the rig raffle. See, baby, see. If it's run so long, why do you look so young, baby? Ahí está. There's a pylon in the main. But you're an animal. I said you're an animal. Like Cossit with a cheeky pylon in the main base. Warp gate is just about to finish. And without finishing, we can warp an adept straight into the main. Remember, 2 adepts, they will one-shot probes. They will one-shot. You see Rebellion in position, ready for a Stargate opener. Rebellion, he is not fully aware of the tag of choice. It is going to be a Twilight Council out of Cossit. Adepts do threaten a shade, and Cossit is in position. Does wall up. Does wall off. Meanwhile, adepts are warping in. So far, only 1 adept. That's not quite going to be enough. But he's warping inside the main. So far, good reactions. Cossit, we need those adepts. Okay, just now warping in. Meanwhile, Rebellion going into Robo, going into Glaives. Oh, going in a hyper-aggressive build here. But Rebellion, can he sustain these losses? Can he retain his economy? Here come those adepts at the same time. Ooh, Rebellion gets in. That should not have happened. He gets into the main. Probe's going to be going down. 5 worker kills already. At the same time, Cossit shades into the mineral line. But the army's in position, the battery as well. And these adepts are on A move. Yeah, they're on A move. Rebellion gets away. And Cosset kills 2 probes. Only 2 workers, barely any damage. That was not quite worth it. There was potential here, but unfortunately Rebellion got into the main and did cause some chaos, did cause some havoc, and Cosset was distracted. He was distracted. He wasn't able to be attentive. A pylon is shut down, and with that Rebellion he defends. He's up by 10 workers, 32 probes to 22, and likewise we're building up Immortals, building up Adepts, getting ready for an all-in. Glaive Adepts, they do not scale well into a longer game, so again Rebellion does not plan to get into a longer game. He plans to end it early with Mass Adept and Mass Immortal. Oh boy. Cosset's trying to recover. Now the one advantage that Cosset has is of course Blink. Blink is on the way. Blink will be available. And with Blink, we can try to bypass the army, dive into the main base, dive into the natural mineral line. There's potential with Blink, of course, but it's really the only thing that has any potential here for Cosset. Needs to find some damage, whether it's, say, a Warp Prism, some Immortals, probes, delaying the push, buying time to recover. Cosset moves out. Rebellion's ready for his own push. Looks like Rebellion should be waiting for his own War Prism before moving out. The Prism is still not yet out. Getting a 3rd Immortal instead. One Adept just shading to the main. Doing what I can. And we're expecting War Prism. There it is. Prism is on the way. With that, Rebellion can start to push. You can start to move out. He's warping in more Adepts. Cosset, he cannot fight this head on. He cannot. Cosset, he pulls away. Pulls away, he rotates. Here comes the main push. Here comes the main army. What is at home to defend? Nothing. There's nothing at home. Oh no! Catching out 2 reinforcing Stalkers. Cosset, he commits. Rebellion does take notice. He's like, hold on, where were the Stalkers going? He does find the main army. Rebellion out of position. Do we recall? There is a recall available. Rebellion, he's racing back. He's gonna take a while. Ay, ay, ay. But he will catch up. Yeah, he will keep up with this army. Bearing in mind that Cosset, he can be the one to recall instead. We gotta get out of here. He blinked down. Blinked down to the Immortals. No. Does slip away. Kind of. I mean, gets away with what? 5 Stalkers? Afraid so. That was 8 Stalkers going down. Again, no worthwhile trade for Cosset. Going for the ninja. I would have liked this earlier. The problem with this ninja expansion is that the all-in is coming. Like Rebellion is already pushing. Like this ninja base, it's not gonna help out here. Not like this. Not like this. But I do appreciate it nonetheless. As the prism's gonna be focused down. Nice time for the prism. Totally in small anyway. Like we can just commit. Just warping from back at home. As Rebellion has arrived. Shading on the army, looking down the Adepts, sorry, looking down the Stalkers. Nice force field ensuring that the army cannot get away. Oof. And with that, GG gets called. Rebellion, he will snowball out of control. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, Rebellion, he will claim a lead in the series. Again, Cosset, unfortunately, even though he had a really nice setup with a pylon in the main base, with a threat of the Adeptras in the main as well, he was unable to keep up the shades of Rebellion, and Rebellion, he shaded up into the main base, got into the mineral line, and did wreak havoc. He killed 10 probes across the map. Meanwhile, Cosset, because of all the chaos, because of the attempted defense, he wasn't able to focus on his own aggression, so he just shaded into the mineral line. He left his Adepts on a move, and there was a battery, there were units in position, so his own Adept counterattack failed to do damage. Failed to do any damage. So again, unfortunately, Cosset was caught being inattentive, and GG. With that, he took a massive loss, took a massive deficit, and was not able to recover. And with that, Rebellion takes a lead, and we'll see if Rebellion can close it out. We'll see if Cosset can bounce back. Let's go. Let us go. So we are loading into game número 2. Número 2. When it comes to the rest of the bracket, we'll be delving into it momentarily. We will get there. We will get there. As game 2 is going to be on the Old Republic. Let's go. We are loading in. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the pink Protoss player. We have the pink Protoss from South Korea representing among us the two people. It is Rebellion. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the yellow Protoss player himself. The yellow Protoss from land of Hong Kong. It is Cusset. Here we go. We have our first matchup. We have our PvP. When it comes to Rebellion's play last game, again, it was nothing too crazy. He was able to take a lead early on and just double down into the 2-base all-in. Yes, technically Rebellion did take a 3rd base last game, but he didn't need to. Like, he had already taken a massive lead and he was already committing into a big 2-base push anyway, which did snowball out of control. Hopefully this time Cossack can keep up with the Adept Shades. If you recall, it all came down to the Adepts. It all came down to the Adepts shading to the main base, shading past the ramp and into the mineral line. That's the moment when Rebellion killed 10 probes, took a massive lead, and never did lose that lead. So we're going to keep up with the harassment here of Rebellion. Likewise, Rebellion can be a very cheeky player. He can play standard, he can play very chaotic, very aggressive, so eyes are on Rebellion to see how he does follow up. As welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is a larger map. The map pool, larger map, longer rush distance by ground. This does often lead to longer and later games, at least coming into the mid game. But PvP, I mean, doesn't matter how big the map is, you can still commit, you can still be hyper aggressive. You know, that's the strength of the Warband mechanic. So this can still lead into some more aggressive games themselves here in PvP. Oh, the probes. Well, let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, thank you so much. Thanks so much. A big shout out to Berry Crunch for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session, I'm assuming. Hope you had a great time. Welcome. Bienvenidos, papi. Bienvenidos. Welcome to the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC. This is a weekly tournament, weekly open cup. We've been running this event, so this is the longest running open cup out there. More than What Is TV Monday or Pixar Cup or Monday Night Weeklies. We've been around for a very, very long time. And if you wish, exclamation mark be in the chat to get a command for the bracket to have a look at the matches ahead of us here. We have players of the caliber of Classic, we got ByuN, we got Trigger as well, we got Creator, Nicaract, and many others. I will say that usually our tournaments are on Sundays, so this is a bit of a rarity. This is also why the signups are a little bit lower than usual, but that's because we're live here on a Tuesday. The reasoning for this is because we did not want to clash with RSL. RSL has been live on the weekends, has been live on Saturday and Sunday, so we've been avoiding that and trying to reschedule to kind of make sure we don't step on each other's toes and leave room for RSL. So when RSL wraps up, we should be going back to Sundays. Back to Sundays. Otherwise, we're settling in. We're settling in. So far, we have our initial Stargate follow-ups here. Both players are expanding. No proxy, no cheese, no shenanigans early on. Not yet. Not this time. Not this time. Oh. But again, hope you all had a great time. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. So from here we are going to be building up. Is going to be a Phoenix opener out of Cosset. I believe Cosset didn't scout. Yeah, Cosset is not aware of the tech of choice. Likewise, neither is Rebellion. Okay, so no one has scouted anyone here, but Cosset does blindly go Phoenixes into a second Stargate, actually. Double Stargate mass Phoenix production. This should hard counter the Oracle. The Oracle should not find some damage here. Hopefully, Rebellion's able to keep it hidden and maybe come in from behind. We'll see. As the Oracle does race across the map and the Phoenixes are ready. You see Rebellion going for his own switch into Blink Stalkers. Just a singular Oracle opener. Adept does shade in. Just the one Adept does get a full scout. Nice scout here across it, does confirm the Stargate, he knows. And the Mass Phoenix can shut this down. Now, it's going to be all about the counterattack from here. Not just shutting down the Oracle, but also getting across the map and gaining map control. Oracle dives in, Phoenix is out of position. Ooh, yeah, they were out of position, and with that, we're just going to throw away the Oracle. 4, 5, up to 6 probe kills. Can we get 7? Can we get 8? Oh my god. Almost 9. 8 probes go down. That should not have happened. Yeah. I mean, I say that. We had the tools to defend. Unfortunately, Cosset, he was not quite in position. He saw the Stargate. He knew that the Oracle was coming, but he had all of his Phoenixes clumped up here outside of his main, not quite on the northern side of the map. So Cosset, he was out of position. You can see him rotate over. This tells us that he's looking for potentially a second Oracle. There is none. Again, we're going for that blink switch. Cosset did not see the Twilight Council. Not fully aware. But can start to be active. Start to threaten. Back at him, Rebellion has got his battery. He has a shield battery. Additional Stalkers. So far, it does deflect here in the main. And likewise, plenty of units here with the Natural. Does get a Phoenix. Ooh, gets one. Yeah, one Phoenix goes down. Doesn't quite get the other. Blink is not yet done. But so far, this has not been worth it for Cosset. Again, to lose 8 probes across the map, that was a brutal start. These Phoenixes have a lot of catching up to do. Ay. As Rebellion is the first to expand, third base is almost done. Cosset, he is quite far behind when it comes to his own third base timing. And we're building up more Stalkers. Blink is almost done. Oh no! Get out of here! Yeah, Blink finishes. Catching in depth. Rebellion pulls back. Now, typically, when we do go into Mass Phoenix and we are up against Mass Blink Stalker, we should be seeing a Robo transition, a third base into a Robo into Immortal production, so we should be seeing like a Phoenix Immortal composition setup here for Cosset. He's still stuck on Mass Phoenix, which will not help in a head-on engagement here, especially with leading out Phoenixes. Another Phoenix goes down. Ay. Better damage, 6 probes at least do fall. I say 6, getting up to 7. Oof. Our Phoenixes are getting picked off, and again, this is the main army, by the way. There's nothing else on the ground, nothing else to stop Rebellion. And here he comes. Rebellion moves out. Phoenixes, they are trying to backstab. They can always recall back home. Spinning all the lifts here in the mineral line. We'll get a bunch of workers, but at the same time, can the main army be stopped? The answer is no. There's nothing. Now we get the Robo. This Robo is so late. This Robo is so delayed. As we mentioned, typically you do want Immortals. Ideally, you do want Phoenix Immortal, but again, it's just too far away. We're too far out from that. GG gets called. Here comes a counterattack, and Rebellion will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Rebellion, he will claim the series. Shout out to Cosset for standing up here to Rebellion. Game 1 was really unfortunate. If you missed it, game 1, we saw that Cosset, he was very, very sneaky. He got a pylon in the main base who was getting ready to warp in and to harass in the main base and slip into that mineral line, but Cosset was distracted. Rebellion got into the main base first and caused a lot of chaos, and it all fell apart early on there for Cosset. He had so much potential in that first game, but didn't quite come to pass. Similar here in game number 2, where Cosset, he blindly went to double Stargate Phoenix. He scouted the Stargate opener of his opponent. He knew the Oracle was coming, but he didn't pre-split the army, right? He didn't split up his army to defend both entrances into his bases. He got caught with his pants down. 8 probes fell, and he fell behind early on. Ideally, Mass Phoenix is able to give you map control and able to contain your opponent and just threaten them while you build up and get a third back at home, but Cosset was late to get a third base and late to get his own Robo as well. The Phoenixes weren't quite worth it. Didn't pay for themselves. GG. GG, well played. With that, Rebellion does claim the series, and let's catch up on the rest of the bracket. Let's go. Let us go. As exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Oh, that is not this tournament. Sorry, that is the Platinum StarCraft March event. Bam. And there we go. Okay, from the top we have Classic. Classic, he is the #1 seed of the tournament. He's waiting for the winner of Ateshi and Perceive in the next round. He's waiting for the winner of that series. Meanwhile, we have Creator. Creator takes down Mew. Nickrak takes down Dead Remus. And we have Creator versus Nickrak in the quarterfinals. Let's go, baby, let's go. Spicy PvT. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have ByuN. ByuN, he's waiting for the winner of Hacker's Top and Power DC, waiting in the quarterfinals. Likewise, we have Trigger. Trigger is up against Roxas. Winner goes up against Rebellion in the next round as well. Okay, here we go. Oh, so just catching up. Here we go, and it looks like we have a next series. Rebellion, he's waiting for his next opponent, either Trigger or Roxas, so Rebellion does have a little bit of downtime. Meanwhile, we just found a fresh series ready for us. I do need a moment to set it up, but it is going to be a PvT. We have Creator and Nicaract. I just jumped in. I need some time, papi. Ay. Un momento. Beautiful. Okay, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Sigil, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player representing his new team, Stony Bulls. It is Nicaract. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our quarterfinals. I will say that coming into this, Creator is the favorite player here, but Nicaract, his best matchup is TVP. Like, he has taken down some big Protoss players in his day. He's taken down players like Hero, players like Max. He's taken down the best Protoss players in the world with what? With a bunch of 2-base wins. Like, Nicaract, he's a hyper-aggressive player in TVP. He has found a lot of success. I would not say that he is favorite against the top Protoss players, but he has taken maps and he has taken series. This is the matchup where Nicaract can cause upsets. He can and he has caused upsets before. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Title Citadel. This is one of the larger maps in the map pool. True, it's a larger map, but longer rush distance by ground. Of course, we have the gold base, which is always a temptation, especially for Protoss players. We'll see how Creator will approach this. Likewise, Nicaract does go for a single gas opener, going for a faster CC. Let's go. Sorry, just catching up in the chat. Here we go. So we are going to be setting up from here. So economic start out of Nicaract, and we'll see what the follow-up is going to be, whether he goes into extra Raxes or into his own 1-1-1. Likewise, Creator is going for his tech of choice. Now, Creator does like to mix things up. We typically expect Twilight Council openers, but Creator, he is willing to go for Robo-based play or Stargate-based play as well. He is willing to be a little bit more diverse when it comes to his tech. He is willing. It's going to be on Nicaract to confirm. Speaking of, we do have the safety bunker back at home, likewise the factory follow-up as well. So far, so good for Nicaract. And it is indeed going to be the Twilight Council for Creator. Does go for the Council. Is going to be working towards Blink. Now the question becomes, how many gateways? 2 Gate Blink, 3 Gate Blink, or 4 Gate Blink Stalker? Creator, he's not really usually one to be hyper aggressive, so we're leaning more towards either an economic opener or a safe opener. Eyes are on Creator. Nicaract is yet to confirm. Pokes in, pulls away. So an extra gateway. And behind this, we do have our 1-1-1 follow-up. We'll keep an eye on the add-ons to see if we go for an add-on swap. There's no like Widowmine drop opener or a Hellion drop follow-up. Here we're going to be going into, yep, add-on swap, faster tech lab on the starboard. Okay. You want Nicaract going for the dive? Yeah, it does rush past. Spots the robo. Gets into the midline as well, getting into 3 probes, not bad. Yeah, 3 probes go down for a single Reaper, and also confirms that it should be Blink. Confirms there is no fast third. Just rechecking the third locations. Back at home, it is not going to be Banshee. We're going to be opening up Raven. Raven production, early tank production as well. Nicaract is setting up. And the Creator, he should soon be expanding. Again, staying on a low gate count, a 2 gate blink, but a robo before any expansion, before Nexus. So safer play here from Creator, going for a bit of a later gateway. Oh, actually going into 2-base Colossus. Okay, speaking of safe play. Again, very, very 2-base heavy. This is not a 2-base all-in, just a delayed third. So late expansion, late economy, late third base in favor of early Colossus. So this is quite safe, I would say. Very, very safe. It does mean that these early stim timings will be shut down. Creator didn't see anything in the main base, so it kind of makes sense why he would play a little bit safer. But this is a bit of a rarer build. It's not standard. Not standard to go 2 base into a bay into Colossus. Now, due to the early Colossus production, this does allow you to get into a fast first, second, and third Colossus. There are some builds that do incorporate earlier forges and do head into like a +2 timing with 4 Colossi. We'll keep an eye on Creator here as he has yet to invest into a forge, but again, the Colossus count is going to get quite high quite fast. The downside, of course, is lack of map control, right? Typically, with a 3-gate blink opener and 4-gate blink opener, you have map control, you can poke in, you can threaten blink dives into the natural, into the main base, you can be aggressive, you can be assertive. You can see that we have none of that from Creator. Nickrack has been left alone. He's been left to his own devices. Third TC is on the way. Getting to stim, combat shields are building up into the mid-game. There's an observer in position, has yet to confirm the Raxes or, of course, the third TC. So Creator is currently unawares. Auto tower popping off. Observer gets spotted. Nice snipe. Nice snipe on the Observer. Getting up to a 5-rack setup. And without the Observer in position, Creator, he will not see the drop. Does have a spotted unit here on the left-hand side. Likewise, Colossus back at home. I believe Nickrack didn't confirm the Colossi. No, he saw the bay. Oh, okay, never mind. Did see the bay. Hopefully he clicked on it. As here comes that double drop. Boosting towards the natural. Ooh, is going to get spotted here by the probe. Yeah, Creator does spot. Does confirm. He has seconds to react. It does respond. Colossus getting in position. And the drop is deflected. And already getting into 3 Colossus. Jesus. And from here, Creator claiming a 4th, as Nickrack gets his 3rd. Also does spot the main army. Creator, he knows he's safe. He knows that the army is still back at home. And now we're taking up. Now we have our 3 Colossus. Now we can start working towards either Disruptors or Storm. And there's the Temple Archives. Heading into Storm. Storm is going to be on the horizon. Nickrack now does expand. And so far it's been pretty passive here. If you recall at the start of this game, I was expecting aggression out of Nickrack, but no, I mean, we did see him poking in here and there, but for the most part, just building up into the mid-game. Much more tame here from Nickrack, which I don't know how I feel about. I mean, to be fair, against fast Colossus play, you can't be aggressive against it. Like, if you are, you just throw away supplies, so this is the correct reaction after seeing the bay. This is just build up. Remember, Creator, he did delay his own economy to be able to afford this. To get those Colossi. And Nickrack so far looking solid. Creator claiming another base. Creator going for a 5th. Storm is on the way. In a head-on fight, I do favor Nickrack if we can make use of all these tanks. Speaking of, tanks do siege. Yeah, tanks save your position. Creator, he does not find a way in. Remember, the Observer did spot the rotation, so Creator, he knows. Ooh, Prism into the main. Not bad. Yeah, Prism gets in. Distracts. Creator pulls back. And we're looking to max out. We're looking to max out now. Nickrack now getting to reactor Viking production, making 4 Vikings at a time. Ghost production has begun as well for those EMPs. And again, I do favor Nickrack's position here when it comes to his main army. Creator mass expanding, claiming a 5th, and now claiming a 6th base. But can he actually make use of this economy? Can he make use of these bases? I'm still worried for Creator when it comes to the eventual push, the eventual Terran army. So traditionally in TVP, and this is not like a traditional game, but traditionally the Protoss player will have a greater economy, will have more bases, will have map control, and it'd be very difficult for the Terran player to claim a third and claim a fourth base and expand. But the dynamic has been very different this game. Oh no, the Prism! Ooh, the Prism is going to be shut down, and Nickrat's in position. Yeah, nice moves here by Nickrat, he was ready. Good call. Solid read. But as you mentioned, the dynamic is very, very different because of Creator's more passive start and more defensive start, which has allowed Nickrat to keep up in supply, if not exceed in supply. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Creator. Creator, he spots the expand. Creator rotates. Storm is ready. As Viking stays away, nice EMP. He does connect. At the same time, Zells hit the right. They do hit the right hand side. Bunker's in position, and the bunker will defend. Despite that, gonna get 6 SCV kills. 7. Ooh, barely 7. Not bad. Not a bad trade. Behind this Creator now working towards disruptors. Second robo is done. Dark Shrine is on the way as well. And Nickrat is max. Oh. Oh no! Jesus. Be careful. He is maxed out. Once again, nice EMP on the main army. Doesn't quite connect with the Ghost. Sorry, with the High Templar, I meant to say. High Templar, they're a little bit further back. Storm does zone. Storm zones away. War Prism is still with the main army. And if you're looking at this army here, what is Nickrat missing? Liberators. Right, we're missing Liberators. Zelsa will hit the bunker. Bunker will go down. Nickrat, he's on his 4 bases. With a 4 base economy, Nickrat, I mean, he can sustain his maxed out army. He can start working on a bank. Creator, he does saturate that gold. And it's on Creator to just keep trading. Just keep trading it without losing his high-tech units, of course. Links in. Cashing out Marauders, Marines, not bad. Nickrat's out of position. Here comes a Nova. Oh! Ooh, Nova connects. Yeah, Nova does connect. Storms do zone away. There's still plenty more storms behind this. Yeah, 4 more High Templar. More weapons are coming in. Creator, he's finding an opening. And the tanks are out of position. Oh no. Yeah, no tanks here to defend. Storm on the Vikings. Mass storm. Oh god, we stand in the storms. These stands, papi. Be careful. Yeah, this is a massive opening here. More storms are going to be connecting, and Creator is just overwhelming. We're standing in the storms. Oh god. Yeah, just a brutal positioning here. Storm overwhelms, and with that, Creator, he has broken the main army. He has broken Nickrat. GG gets called, and Creator, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Creator does take a lead in the series. Again, Nickrat, I was very impressed, to be honest. Nickrat, he was holding his own. He was getting and establishing his 4th base, building up. But something that we didn't quite bring up when it comes to Title Citadel is something that try to bring up is the distance between the bases. Defensive rotations, specifically on Title Citadel, are very difficult just because of the distance between your natural, your 3rd, and your 4th. Typically on some of these other maps, the distance is a little bit closer and your bases are a little bit more condensed and close together. Here on Title, they are further apart, so it is imperative that you keep up with your army's movement to keep up with the rotations. If not, then moments like this happen. When Nickrat, he did have the army to defend, but he was late to react, late to respond. Creator got up the ramp, he pushed in towards the bases, tanks were over towards the left-hand side, so they were not a part of the main fight, and Nickrat, he had a very, very kind of lackluster, very haphazard engagement there at his 3rd location. GG. GG, well played, and with that, we're now getting into game number 2. We're getting into Tourmaline. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Protoss player, we have the Red Protoss. Leading the series 1-0, it is Creator. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Terran player himself, representing Stouty Bulls. It is Nickrat. Here we go. Here we go. And again, Nickracht, he was just unable to keep up with the rotations, unable to keep up with the movements. Outside of that, like, he was holding his own. I was very impressed by Nickracht's play. But one wrong move, one wrong step, you give your opponent an inch, and yo, they send it back. And Creator, he was able to break through that third and claim the win then and there. But now we're gonna be loading into a much smaller map, and this is where Nickracht is at his best. So again, Nickracht, he was forced into a longer and later game on Title Citadel. Here we're loading into Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the smallest maps of the map pool, a very short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline. It is going to be a double gas opener this time out of Nickracht, faster factory, a more tech heavy start, and we are expecting more aggression this time from our Terran player. I know that we said that on Title Citadel, but we saw a much more defensive and kind of macro setup out of Nickracht. This time we should be seeing something more intense, something more in your face, more aggressive. Let's go. As a result of this, we should be seeing a safer build out of Creator. I'm referring to like 3-gate blink into a safety robo, into a mortar production on 2 bases, into a late expansion. That's kind of what we're leaning towards here. We'll see if Creator goes for another robo opener. That would be a little bit surprising, but we could see that again. So we'll see where Creator takes us. Exclamation mark spoilers should give you the bracket, to be honest. Exclamation mark B gives you the brackets, or exclamation mark bracket. Here we go. So there are plenty of bracket commands in the chat. Exclamation mark spoilers wouldn't make sense because it's a live broadcast, it's not a replay cast. What? It's a live cast, Pat. ByuN is so good at spotting observers. How does he do that? I mean, you saw that out of Nickracht as well, but observers, they do have a shimmer. They do have a shimmer, so if you're being attentive, then you can notice the shimmer. Whether it's with observers, whether it's with Dark Templar, Burrowed Roaches, they all have like a visual effect. That's also one of the reasons why players, they play on very low settings. When you play on like the lowest settings possible, then there's less like visual clutter, right? And something like that is more noticeable. For those that are unaware. So it is easier to spot things of that nature. Not saying it's easy, but you know, that's one of the reasons why. You would want to get rid of like the most, or like the other like needless like visual effects that you can. So clear up the screen. As Nickracht does commit into the, he does commit. He does go for the dive. With that, he'll get 1, 2, 3, up to 4 probe kills, 5 probes even, not bad. 5 probes do go down. So a nice trade, bearing in mind the Reaper Hellion does not scale well into a longer game, and also in doing so, in harassing and committing, he does confirm the Stargate. So Nickracht is fully aware. Ooh, he tries to catch the Oracle, barely does miss it. Cyclone is out of position, back at home there thankfully is a Viking. Okay, there's a Viking in the main, there's Marines here at the natural. Oracle is spotted. Nickracht once again with interception. He does get a lock on, only for a moment. Only for a moment. Again, unable to catch. Winding it back, a bold move here to go for a Stargate opener on Tourmaline. This map is known for all-ins, and notoriously Stargate openers make it difficult to defend against all-ins. It's going to be Mass Phoenix into Robo play into Immortals. Meanwhile, Nickracht, we're gearing up. Vikings are on the way, tanks are on the way, another Rax as well. Nickracht, he may pull the boys. So far, he's rallying across the map with everything he has. And what is it to defend? We have 3 Phoenixes, we have 1 Stalker, 2 Adepts, 1 Battery. The Immortal is halfway done. We need a little bit more time for the Immortal. Tank is getting within range.
Our SCVs are
getting within range. Oracle does hit the natural. The Immortal will pop. Just in time. Going for the tank. Oh no! Yeah, tank is going to be targeted down, and with that, Creator holds. Creator, he shuts us down, takes down the tank, takes down the Vikings. Cyclone Bailey will fall as well. And these are some heavy losses here for Nickracht. As he tries to trade, he does take down some of the gateway units, but we'll still lose everything in the process. Ay, ay, ay. Again, expensive losses here for the Terran. That was what? That was losing the tank, the Vikings, the Cyclones as well. Did lose all the Marines, and now Creator can expand. Yeah, Creator can freely expand. The army has been reset for Nicaract. Again, he was able to pick off one Phoenix and a handful of gateway units. Oh boy. And we'll see where Nicaract takes us from here. After that loss, I don't really see a world where we can build up into a longer macro game. Nicaract still has the option to get a third TC, but we'll see if he doubles down as he's going into reactored Viking production. Making more Vikings. Colossus production has begun for our Protoss. Yo, it's Phoenix Colossus? I just realized. Oh my god. It's 2022 all over again. The Phoenix Colossus. We're back. True. Very old school. The build, I mean. The build here from Creator. Very, very old school. Opening a Phoenix, going to Colossus. I mean, of course, it didn't make some safety immortals just to be secure. But this is a style that used to be very meta a couple of years ago and has fallen off. But I mean, hey, he's gotten past the hard part here. Getting past the first push. As Creator checking for a third TC. Bearing in mind the Creator does not need to push in. Like we gotta calm down. We don't have to attack into tanks. Yeah, speaking of tanks, I do catch a Stalker. Just calm down, baby, calm down. Wait, we need to make ultra settings great again. Ah, no. It's quite rare to see pro players play on any kind of high settings. It just works against you. Still looks good though. Looks good, Pat. Looks good. So from here we built up to 3 Colossus. Meanwhile, Disruptor production has begun. And Nicaract, he is going to try to macro out of this. Oh boy. So we're just turtling up back at home. I will say that the initial 3-base setup is quite secure here. And the 4th base is right next to the 3rd. So, I mean, we can just compare this to Tidal, right? On Tidal Citadel, your 3rd and 4th base locations are quite limited, and you'd have your 3rd base here on the right, you'd have your 4th base all the way here on the left. But specifically on Tourmaline, you can see the center expansion is right next to the 3rd. So you can park your army here in between the bases and react quite quickly. This is one of the reasons why, despite Nicaract having a strong start in game number 1, he was caught out of position and shut down in that game. Towards the end of Tidal Citadel. So again, your 4-base setup is a little more centralized. Creator, he has gained map control. He's able to mass expand, taking his 5th base and 4th at the same time. His 4th and 5th. And Creator at this point can kind of do as he pleases. He's taking out towards Storm. Temple Archives on the way. Saturating his 4th base. Creator's rotates. Creator's rotating. He gets spotted. Nicaract is aware. They spot each other. Creator's moving in. Oh, never mind. Waiting for the Warpism. As Creator is about to max out. Storm is not going to be a factor here. A Storm has not yet begun. Oh, she gets spotted. Nicaract, he is going to peel off some units here to defend against the proxy. To deal with it, army moves in. So far, nice defense. Creator going to be deflected. Nice Sim City here for Nickeract. So far, so good. And he's claiming his fourth. Fourth base is now being taken. We'll see if Nickeract can maintain this fourth. Creator getting in position.
Upgrade complete.
Does move in. Here comes the ghost. Here comes the EMP. Oh. There does Crazy Army. Nova goes up. Oh, massive connection. And Nova connects. Remember, there's no storm. We can give chase, catching up the disruptor. Stasis Trap does catch the army, though. Now, brutal stasis. Vikings in your hand. They do catch a Colossus. One Colossus left. Vikings, they try to bring him down. Ooh, not quite able to. Yeah, not quite able to. The Gateway Army overwhelms, hunts down the Ghost, the Marines, the Marauders. The Viking count gets reset. Colossus still up and running. Stasis does run out. Stepping in from behind, going for the Colossus. Let's go. It does get it. The surround. Yeah, surround does pay off, but these are still some brutal losses here for Nickeract. I'm catching the Immortal, though. Does catch the Immortal. Nickeract barely holding onto his planetary, but again, it did cost him all the Vikings, all of his ghosts. And Creator's not done. As he works in a massive wave of zealots. It's a lot of charge, that's Pappy. Creator, he wants those tanks. Yeah, tanks are exposed. He gets one. 1, 2 tanks go down. Nova's zone away. Pushing into the mineral line. And Nickeract, he cannot save that. The SVs are going to be forced to fight. Yeah, workers are going down, and the main army is being held up. Vikings getting caught. Nice catch on the disruptor at least, but he will lose the entire mineral line. That's going to be 19 dead SCVs. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Creator, he does overwhelm. He will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. A bit of a cleaner game here from Creator. Unfortunately, Nickeract, he went for a very aggressive timing, or he went for aggressive push after realizing it was a Stargate opener, and he lost everything. Remember, he lost 2 Vikings, the Cyclone, the tank as well. Very early on, Nickeract, he lost map control, and it was just forced to be defensive. And he tried to macro out of it, but alas, because of this, he was able to give Creator map control very early on. Creator, that's why he double expanded. Got his 4th and his 5th base at the same time. He was being so greedy, just building up into that mid game. He was very free to do so. There was nothing to threaten him, nothing to harass, and again, a bit of a shakier game here for Nickeract in game 2. Game 1 was closer. Game 1 was more back and forth, and I had a lot of hopes for game 1, but here in game 2, just a rough start for Nickeract. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, Creator. He will claim the series, will advance on, and let's catch up on the brackets. Let's go. Creator, he's the first to make it to the semifinals, and meanwhile, we have another semifinalist as well. Trigger, he takes down Rebellion 2-0 to make it to those semis. So we have Creator in the upper semis, we have Trigger in the lower semis, and they're still waiting for the next opponents. We have Classic versus Ateshi in the upper portion of the brackets, and we have ByuN versus Hacker's Top in the lower portion. Let's go. Let us go. Again, coming into this, of course, Classic and ByuN are favored to make it into the next rounds, but we'll see if Hacker's Top and Ateshi can hold their own and potentially even cause an upset. Maybe. Best of luck. For now, though, I guess we do have some downtime. We have some downtime here. Bearing in mind, we typically do cast both semis. Just letting our players know. But we are going to be casting both semifinals, and as a result, we will be holding on to these matches. Okay. Just letting them know. Of course, the upper semifinals is going to be on Korea, as Classic, Ateshi, and Creator are all Korean Protoss players. So we have a PvP confirmed in the upper portion of the brackets. Meanwhile, we have a potential PvT or PV random in the lower portion, which again might all be on Korea anyway. Bearing in mind that Trigger is also living in Korea. He's been in Korea for over a year at this point. It's been over a year. Crazy. But is in Korea. Why zesty DMs? Oh no, you don't want to see my DMs with Jumi. Yo, Jumi's an animal, by the way. Ay. Putting him on blast, Pappy. Putting him on blast. But for now, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have our next series. We'll have our next matchup. We'll have our next... He's an animal, Pappy. An animal. Oh no, you should see his Instagram likes. Oh god. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes here with our next series. Until then, enjoy this break, enjoy the brutal OST, take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, and massage your marines. We'll see you soon with our next series. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals, or semifinals here of the sparkling Tuna Cup number 125. We're here, we are back, and we have both of our semis, I believe, ready for us. Exclamation mark, yep, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. We do have our semifinalists. We have Classic versus Creator in a PvP in the upper semis, and we have ByuN versus Trigger in a PvT. We have our top 4 players here, 3 Protoss and a Terran, and we'll see if we can avoid the PvP finals. Can we avoid it, Pappy? Let's go. Let's find out. As we are jumping into our first series, as we are jumping into 10,000 feet. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Basilisk. It is a Trigger. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our PvT. Best of luck. Best of luck. Best of luck. As we have our best of 3 semifinals already. ByuN does skirt around the edge of the map. It does hide his SCV here in the center and is going for the proxy racks. Let's go. Let us go. So ByuN already opening up hyper aggressive. Welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Shorter rush distance by ground. Despite that fact, ByuN is still opening up quite aggressively here, and we'll see how hard he commits. Behind this, going for his second gas geyser back at home, and the initial probe scout will miss the racks. Yeah, we'll miss it. Trigger does move out. Trigger, he will at least confirm that the racks is missing once he gets across the map. We'll at least confirm. But yes, if you're in the chat, get your Gamba going. Best of luck, best of luck. Coming into this, I would say that ByuN is favored, but I would not be surprised if Trigger takes this. Like, this is going to be a harder one to call, I feel. Like, this is a harder one to call. Both Trigger and ByuN are quite close in skill. Quite close. And it is going to be Proxy Marauder. Again, both gases have been taken. Tech Lab is on the way. We're committing into Marauders. And Trigger does at least scout both gases. He sees both gases. He's aware that a Rax is missing. This could still be Proxy 2 Rax Reaper. Let's race back. Technically, this could be Rax into Factory. It could be a 1-1-1. Trigger, he does scout towards the left-hand side. Looking for the proxy. Does scout to the left. And I think he will scout the center. Oh, not quite. No, he goes to the pocket. Yeah, he does go for the pocket expansion. Does check the triangular third. And still finds nothing. It doesn't quite confirm. Marauders are amassing. The first Stalker is on the way. And ByuN, he wants to catch that Stalker. He wants him. Does move in. Pylon is exposed. And Trigger's out of position. He's out of position now. Does race back. Bunker gets thrown down. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. The Pylon is getting low. So far, nice kiting. Again, he wants that Stalker. Yeah, he does get the shots off. And this Stalker will go down. Trades 1-to-1. And the other Stalker gets caught out as well. Yeah, it does get caught out. There's no escaping this. The Stalker will fall. Oh, that's 2 Stalkers falling. Now the bunker finishes. No, the bunker is done. The Marauders, they will get in. Yeah, they barely do dive into the bunker. And with that, they have control of the natural. Pylon will fall as well. And this is just a rough trade here for Trigger. He cannot deal with this. Yeah, he cannot deal with the setup. Shield battery is depowered. More Marauders are rallying in. And Trigger, he's lost control of his own natural. Oof. Losing the battery. There's only 2 pylons on the low ground. Trigger, he's stuck in the main. And again, just so unfortunate. Trigger, he was scouting so hard here towards the left-hand side. He was looking diligently, but didn't confirm the proxy. And he may even lose the natural base. He's building up to 3 Stalkers, but even then, he cannot break this with 3 Stalkers. That's not enough. So does he just lose the base? I think so. And losing the space, that's game. Like, he cannot afford to lose the Nexus. Not like this. Back at home, ByuN is expanding. Trigger, he does push down. He's got 4 Stalkers. Once again, he gets bullied. And he will lose the Nexus. Massive pickoff here. Massive start here for ByuN. Ay. Trigger supply blocked as well. Going for the scouts. And the Hellion does get into the main base, does come from the Stargate, does see the Oracle. ByuN knows. Back at home is getting a Cyclone. Cyclone will be in position. At this point, ByuN can just abandon this position here and just retain and contain his opponent on one base for as long as possible. Rax is already floating back home. Has already arrived. And ByuN can just macro. He just macro from here. Oh, does spot the Oracle. Boost in. And GG. GG gets called. ByuN will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Aye. GG well played again. Such an unfortunate scouting pattern there from Trigger. He was looking everywhere for that proxy. Failed to find it though. It was in the center of the map. It was behind that center third base. And Trigger, he was just woefully underprepared. Oh. Okay. He was just underprepared. He was bullied back. If you remember, part of the reason why this worked out so well wasn't the lack of scouting, but because Trigger wasn't able to find it, the first Stalker went out into the center of the map. Remember, the first Stalker was out in the open, was on the other side of the attempted bunker, so the Stalker was caught out, right? The Stalker was just dead in the water immediately, so it was just a really rough start there for Trigger to lose that first Stalker at the start of the game, and from there he lost the second Stalker as well. He lost both Stalkers almost immediately, and with that everything just snowballed, out of control, bunker finished, GG. GG well played. And again, the Stalkers were out in the open because we were still looking for the proxy. But now we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Basilisk. It is a Trigger. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be opening up. And this time the Rax is back at home. This time, no proxy. No proxy in sight. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground, and more defendable third and fourth bases. So we do often get into longer and later games. But ByuN typically likes to be aggressive, right? He wants to be in your face, he wants to be all in or just be hyper aggressive while he builds up a greater economy. So eyes are on ByuN as to how aggressive he plans on being. We'll see if Trigger can scout and keep up. This time it should be a much more comfortable start for Trigger. Much more comfortable. And we'll say the map itself does favor Trigger a little bit more when it comes to building up into a longer game. So this is going to be a good chance here for Trigger to recover and to force an ace match. But let's go. As Trigger pokes in, is going to be Marine first, no Reaper. Ooh, CC is delayed. Nice delay there from Trigger. Forcing the command center off center. As it was a Rax expand. Yeah, Marine first, right into the Tech Lab. Ooh, early Tech Lab here from ByuN, going Marauders once again, this time not proxied, but the goal here is because ByuN has gone for a greedier build, he's gone for a faster CC, and because it's off-center as well, ByuN, he wants Trigger to punish him. He's like, punish me, pappies. ByuN, he wants Trigger to move in with the Adept, with a Stalker, and try to delay the CC. The goal for ByuN is to catch that first unit with Concussive Shell. Many Terran players, they actually hide this Marauder, say, at the third location, so the initial Adept and Stalker move into the natural, they move further into the bases, and then the Marauder comes in from behind. They come in from behind, then they can catch out the army. Speaking of, here comes the first Adept. Trigger does move out. See in chat, do the other semifinals wait for this one to finish? Yes, for Sparkling Tuna Cup, we do cast both semis, one after the other. Casper. I know that's not the case for all tournaments. I think Monday Night Weekly have an accelerated bracket, so they don't hold matches. I know Pegasus Cup doesn't hold matches. I think Wardy does every now and then. Like Wardy, it's a vibe check for Wardy, but usually he does cast both semis. So it is on a tournament by tournament basis. Ooh, as ByuN, he's going 3 CC, 3 Rax. Okay, very greedy build here. Trigger, he was very tentative. He was able to confirm the Marauder, and he does get away. So thankfully, Trigger, he actually commits. No, he gets baited. Yeah, he gets baited in. It does shade, and the Adept will go down. Does he get an SCV? Does not. Doesn't kill the SCV, so a better trade here for ByuN. And behind this, going for a very greedy follow-up, going 3 CC, 3 Rax, very greedy, very mid-game oriented. This does allow for a very big power spike in the mid game due to the greater economy. So strong mid-game build here by ByuN. Trigger back at home, playing very safe. Trigger, he failed to scout the main. He's not aware of what's going on. He's going 3 gates blink into a robo on 2 bases. Very safe play here by Trigger. Overly safe play considering what ByuN is up to. I don't blame Trigger. It is not uncommon to go for a Marauder opener straight into a 3-racks, into an early sim timing. Unfortunately, it is a 3-racks, but it's a 3-racks after the command center. So it's a more economic build. And we'll see what Trigger can get done. Bearing in mind, because of the 3-racks, there are no tanks, right? There's no factory, there's no tank production. So Trigger has potential to get into the bases and to pick away the Marines and maybe find some damage. I say mainly, there's a window until Stim finishes. When Stim is done, Trigger would be punished for those blinks. So he has to be very, very careful with how he does blink, with how aggressive he is. As Trigger moves out. As he moves out, he claims his 3rd. As Trigger, he does get spotted. Catching out a Marine. Catching out a Marine. Picking up some SCVs, not bad. Getting 1, 2, 3 SCV kills. Decent damage here by Trigger. Again, nothing game ending, but nice pickups nonetheless. Catching out 3 workers and forcing some boys off the mineral line. Denying some mining. Threatening a dive into the main. He blinks in. He's crazy. He blinks in. He gets punished. Losing 1. Losing... Oh, so far 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh god, this is not worth it. It's not worth it. So many stalkers go down. That was 7 stalkers going down in total. Yeah, heavy losses there for Trigger. As we mentioned, blinking into the army, you get punished so hard by Stim. And Trigger was punished. He's doing it again. Okay, this time he can lift. This time only 4 stalkers, so he can lift every single one. This time more calculated from Trigger. Ooh, still loses 1. Yeah, 1 stalker still goes down. Trigger, he has to back off. I don't blame him for being active. He knows that he has to find some damage here, but did overextend. This also means that Trigger's defense is going to be that much weaker. You can see the army's barely standing. Barely holding on. How much Creator go to the finals? I mean, Creator, he won recently, right? Oh. Creator does poke in. Does poke in. Gonna be zoned back. Observer gets caught. I'm thinking about his match versus Classic in SE Evo, to be fair. She casted this morning, but here we go. Again, ByuN does hold his own, claims his 3rd. Remember, his economy is that much stronger due to the faster 3rd CC. Trigger, he has to commit. We'll bring in more units. I will say that the army is a little bit oversimmed. Only 1 medevac. Boys are being pulled. Trigger, he does not push through. ByuN, he wants the Immortal. Nice save. Nice save out of Trigger. Again, both armies are on a knife's edge. Bay's on the way for Trigger, working towards Colossus. Jumping into the natural. And does get in. Not bad. Dips into the mineral line. That's what I'm thinking of. So, in Tuna Cup 2 weeks ago, Creator, he was up against Classic in the finals. I went all the way to the ace match. And remember, it was Creator who was up 2-0. He was up 2-0, and then the Classic pulled off a reverse sweep against Creator. That's what I was thinking of. But they had an intense back and forth. Very intense. So we'll see them face off again. That'll be later on. For now, though. We're building up the Colossi. Right now, it's going to be on Trigger, no longer to break the position, but to slow him down, to pick away at the army. Do have a Master Zealot Ramba being set up on the right-hand side. Trigger does distract. Trigger's moving in. Oof. Flash shot goes off. Zalse try to catch reinforcements. Yeah, a little bit indecisive. Does not find a way in. ByuN coming in for the surround. No, the Immortals! Get the Immortal and the Prism as well. One Immortal goes down. Yeah, he gets one. Catching out the rest of the army. Ay. Yeah, rough loss here for Trigger. He gets caught with his pants down. He gets caught out. And ByuN is pushing. ByuN has momentum. There's going to be one Colossus to defend. There's one Colossus, barely a gateway army. We need more charge ults, more zealots. ByuN scans, so they'll see the setup, and he does pull away. ByuN doesn't have to push. He has a 4th CC in production. He has a 4th command center. He can just chill. 2nd starport, more Vikings. Bold expansion. Trigger. Expanding in the face of ByuN. Ay. Bold move. Thankfully, ByuN didn't veer in that direction. As ByuN is close to maxing out, claiming his 4th. Trigger setting up for his own counterattack. And Disruptor production has begun. I believe we should be working. Yeah, he does have a 2nd robo. So we can soon get into mass disruptors. That is kind of the go-to in the mid to late game. Prism moves in. Army's in position. And ByuN defends. ByuN, he defends well. The game is slowing down. Both armies are maxed. ByuN does have a lot of dive potential, I will say that. He's up to 9 Vikings, soon to be 12. Catching out the first Colossus, never goes off. Ooh, nice connection. Yeah, ByuN does take the Nova to the face. Vikings, they catch 1 Colossus. They get 1. They're going to get 2. I think they get 3. Oh, God, we're losing far too many Vikings. Sorry, far too many Colossus here. Yeah, 2 many Colossus going down. There's 1 Colossus left, down to 0, and ByuN can just stim in. He can just stim and win. There's no splash damage, no Colossus, no Storm, no Disruptors. I say that 1 Disruptor does arrive. Here comes the 2nd. Can we dodge the Novas? There he goes up. There he goes off. Zealous attempt to surround. They attempt to flank. Nice kiting here by ByuN. Nice EMP. And ByuN pulls back. ByuN did take a massive win here, a massive fight, and he's just going to back off and max out. Very patient play here by ByuN. Very mature. Very disciplined. That's the word I'm looking for. Very disciplined. As he doesn't want to lose his lead, doesn't want to overextend. Just waiting for what? Waiting for now Liberators. The Freedom Pack. Liberation's on the way. Trigger setting up for a Zealot run by. ByuN does stim in. Boulder, he's crazy. Ooh, Novas don't quite connect. Wow, Novas don't connect. Vikings land. 1 Nova still does not actually. The target firing. 3 Novas, none of them connect. ByuN stims in. As Zelsa will catch reinforcements. But ByuN, he will break the expansion. He'll break the Nexus. Nexus goes down. The Liberators, they defend back at home. ByuN does turn around though. And he will catch the Zealots. Wow, it does catch them. He gets a Ghost. Still a better trade for ByuN. ByuN scans, looking for more bases, more expansions. ByuN is actually not aware of these center right bases. The top right expansions. Once again, Trigger trying to hold his own. There's still plenty of Vikings left over though. Still plenty of Vikings. I say that we're down to 2. That's all we need. Yeah, the Vikings, they shut down the final Colossus. And again, ByuN just has too much momentum. Too much momentum, catching another Disruptor. Another Disruptor goes down. Again, ideally in the mid to late game PvT matchup, the Protoss player, he does want to bank. Wants a greater economy, wants a greater bank, but that's not quite here. The trades have just been too poor for Trigger. He's just been caught out one too many times. It takes so long to rebuild your high-tech units here. The Colossus, the Disruptors. They've been reset time and time again. God, it's almost pure Marauder. Look how beefy this army is. Oh my god. It's thick, Baffy. Ay. Nice little run by there. 13 SCVs. 13 SCVs go down. A nice run by. Marauders, they try to rush in here, but so far Trigger does take a better fight. Does take the better engage. ByuN heals force to split. How many Marauders? 21! 21 Marauders. We are lacking Ghosts though. That's my one big concern. So there's no Ghosts, there's no EMPs. There we go. Speaking of, Ghost production has begun once again. Trigger trying to find a better angle. Trying to. Liberators, they just push forward. Colossus goes down to 2. Trigger, he at least wants that planetary, but he cannot get it. He just cannot. Nice support on the Nova. Again, the Marauders, they can tank. Ooh, speaking of Marauders, sorry, the Nova does clip the army. Catching up 3, catching up 4 Marauders, not bad. And not a bad Nova, but it's still a rough fight here for Trigger, bleeding out Stalkers of all things. Some gas-intensive losses. The Liberators denying mining here on the right-hand side. Okay, there's the scan. Liberator moves in. ByuN is maxed. Maxed out nice EMPs. Oh my god, the EMPs, they cover the army. They blank the army. Ooh, ByuN a little bit too soon. Yeah, moves in too soon, bit of miscontrol there by ByuN. Running into the Nova. And a Trigger, if he can land a couple of Novas, then he can maybe hold on and try to stabilize. But it's still looking bleak here as the Disruptors, they will not connect. Yeah, they don't connect. 2 more Disruptors go down. Liberation finally gets across the map. He's got his Liberators. He's moving in. Finally on top of the bases. And the Stalker army cannot hold its own, not against Mass Marauder, not like this. Another Disruptor thrown away. Vikings, they can land. Once again, the Zealot runway does pop off though. 17 dead SCVs. Not a bad runway. ByuN is distracted. Ooh, a little bit. But ByuN, he defends back at home. Will bleed out 22 SCVs, but ByuN, he has mules. And he can use this as a staging ground and just keep pushing. To keep pushing into more bases, more expansions. Trigger, he knows he has to evacuate. He has to pull away. Nova is denied. Dada. Yeah, a bit of a misrally as well. And ByuN should keep pushing. Keep going, Batman. Doesn't get flanked. Does can. Spots the army. Oof. Nova's not connecting. Once again, that's 3 Disruptors going down. And ByuN forces a better fight for him. Oh, it's a bit of awkward movement. Yeah, a little bit awkward there. But does stem in. And Trigger plummets in supply down to 100 supply remaining. Ay. As you mentioned, these have just been some heavy losses for Trigger. I'm afraid to look. How many Disruptors have been going down? 16. Oof. 16 Disruptors and 8 Colossus. And again, this all came down to the early game. It all came down to the initial Stalker aggression. Basically, I'm referring to the moment when ByuN went for an economic build. Trigger tried to punish, and Trigger was punished for being overly aggressive. It allowed ByuN to establish his third base quite freely, to build up into a greater economy, and GG gets called. ByuN, who'll take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0, I should say. He will advance on into the grand finals to face off against his next opponent, to face off against either Creator or Classic. GG. GG, well played. ByuN does advance on. My condolences to Trigger. Again, it was just a really rough start here in game number 2. Winding it back, we were emphasizing it, but remember, ByuN, he went for a 3cc build, 3rd CC after the racks, into a 3-rack setup. So a very greedy build there by ByuN, and ByuN wasn't punished. He was not punished for his greed. He was able to get away with it. He was able to build up, get into his own 3cc 3-rack setup. He even punished the Stalker aggression of Trigger, which allowed for ByuN to have a very solid early to mid game, have the better economy, build up. There was a lot of pressure on Trigger to find damage, and that did force better trades from ByuN, as Trigger was being overly aggressive and overly assertive and was struggling with that and failing at that as well. And GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does advance on to the finals, and now we have our next semis ready for us. Spawning in the top left-hand corner. Spawning in the top left-hand corner here of... bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. It is Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we're getting into our next matchup. Here we go. We're getting to our next semifinals. Coming into this, Classic is the favorite player. He is top 2 Protoss in the world, arguably top 1 in certain circumstances, alongside Hero, of course. But in PvP, anything can and will happen. I was referring to the finals of Tuna Cup number 123. That was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago. I just realized something. There we go. 2 weeks ago, we did have Classic versus Creator in the best of 5 finals, and Creator, he almost 3-0'd. He was ahead in the series. He was up 2-0, and Classic fought his way back, but it was very intense, very close back and forth. I could have seen Creator taking it as well, so we'll see. We'll see if we can bring it back, and we'll see if we can have a back and forth, and if Creator can get his revenge. Let's go. Here we go. We go. As from here, we have our 2-gate opener out of Classic. The second pylon is in the main. Likewise, Creator doing the same. No proxies, no 1-base all-ins yet. The workers, they do follow each other. And it is going to be a double Stalker open out of Creator. Much more aggressive, much more assertive here. Creator, he failed to scout the pylon. Ooh, he didn't get into the main. He's going for the proxy. It's going to be a delayed all-in. Remember, this is the 3rd pylon, not the 2nd. So it's going to be a later proxy here, going for a delayed gateway. Basically, this looks like a standard build. Did Classic probe scout? He didn't. Well, what's happening? Classic, no probe scout whatsoever. Okay, so Classic is playing blind. Very risky in PvP. Did open hallucination, did open sentry. It was sorry, I thought it was a double gateway. It's going to be Stalker, sorry, it's going to be gated into Cybercore into expand. Hallucination does confirm the proxy. It's going to be a delayed proxy Robo out of Creator, going for the 1-base all-in, and Classic knows. Classic is aware, he responds with the Stargate, but remember, this was a Nexus before Stargate. This was a very greedy build. But this is also a delayed Robo as well, so we're getting messy. We're getting messy. Greedy build out of Classic. Creator going for his own delayed 1-base all-in. Prism is on the way. We're getting chaotic. Who do we favor here? Now, we're imagining it's going to be Void Ray first out of Classic to build up his Void Ray count. There we go. Void Ray's on the way. He's already got 2 batteries at the natural. With the power of the War Prism, we could try to juggle and dive into the main and bypass the natural. It's possible. Speaking of, let's go. Does head for the main. Making his way in. But the Void Ray is out. Yeah, the Void Ray will pop out in time. You can try to focus down the Prism itself. Oh! He does go for the Prism. Can he get it? No shot. The Prism gets so low, and he does get the Prism. Ay, ay, ay. A rough start here for Creator. Not like this. Does run away the Void Ray. But the Void Ray survives. Does get away, does survive. That's a massive delay here for the all-in. Creator's pushing forward, but he doesn't have any micro potential. Not without the War Prism. His Macallam is activated, catching a Stalker. And remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Classic. Classic, he has that better economy. Producing more Void Rays. Adepts, they do not get into the main. Ooh, nice force fields, looking down a couple of sentries. Yeah, catching out one sentry and a Stalker. Void Rays is back the army. Nice kind of force fields here, zoning away the Immortal. He wants the Prism. No, the Prism! The Prism goes down for a second time. Does punish, does get a Void Ray though. Down to one Void Ray. Army moves in. He still has the Immortal. Boys are being pulled. And Creator, can he pull this off? Ah, now here comes a second Void Ray though. Yeah, with the power of 2 Void Rays, Classic holds. He doesn't just hold, he wants the Immortal. Oh, yeah, a bit of an overextension. Does overextend. He only had 3 batteries. Lack of batteries can kill him. And not many batteries left over. Boys are being pulled. Classic being greedy. As he is going to be forced back. Prismatic alignment now for cooldown. But usually we were seeing even more batteries on the way here. So lack of batteries is concerning. Creator, can he still pull this off? Voiders once again, they're in the main. Yeah, they activate their beams. Batteries in position to support. And the Immortal, ooh, the Immortal goes down, bit of miscontrol there from Creator. Doesn't save the Immortal. And with that, Classic shutting this down. Yeah, he does shut this down. As he finally killed the Immortal. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Classic he holds, and Classic will take game number 1. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. Classic, he'll take a lead in the series. Again, it was a bit of a messy game here. Creator going for a delayed 1-base all-in, and for Creator to lose that first War Prism, that was almost game then and there. We still had a bit of a back and forth, and we did have some moments where Classic overextended and where Classic under-defended his natural. That is true. That did give some opportunities for Creator, but again, losing that first and second War Prism, just massive delays there for Creator. Not just delays when it comes to warp-ins and when it comes to the aggression, but also it does kind of reduce your micro potential, right? It means that you cannot juggle back units, you cannot save your Stalkers, your Adepts, your Immortals, you cannot micro back. It does weaken your push quite significantly there to lose those War Prisms. GG. GG, well played. With that, Classic takes the lead, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. And we'll see if Creator can recover. Show us what you got. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Protoss Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is Classic. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself. We have the South Korean Protoss down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is a Creator. Let's go. Whew, let us go. So we are delving into game number 2 here. And we'll see how frisky our players plan on being, and we'll see if, once again, Classic goes for a greedier build. So far, throwing down the gateway closer to the main, not going for the wall off here at the ramp. The reasoning for this is technically more efficient. The time it takes for the probe to go back from the gateway back to mining is shorter. So this is technically more efficient to get opener out of Classic. The downside, of course, is lack of SimCity. Or a lack of wall off the ramp. Does allow for Adepts to shade in. At least early on. So the wall is going to be a little bit weaker here. You have to go for a full pylon wall instead. Hello, Creator. As Creator, he does veer off towards the right-hand side. The first pylon is back at home, but the second pylon is proxied. Based on the proxy location, either a fake proxy pylon or a proxy Stargate or a proxy Twilight Council. We'll keep an eye on this probe to see if he comes back. Based on the rally, he's not. Yeah, so it looks like a fake out. Classic does scout. Classic confirms that a pylon is missing. Classic is aware. And Classic, you can see he's scouting. He does rally here on the right-hand side. And he's checking the center of the map, not checking the edge. These are more common in proxy robo locations. Classic does fall for the bait. He does go for his own robo. This is a blind, reactive, defensive response. If there was a proxy robo, then Classic could hard counter. But as we can see, Classic's being baited into something more aggressive. Now, what Classic can do with this is turn this into a one-base all-in. He can turn his defense into an offense once he realizes he doesn't need it. As Creator expands. And Creator does expand. Classic moves out. Shout out to the Tuna. The Tuna. So Creator, he has the high ground. Defensive robe is on the way for Creator. Good call. Prism is on the way. Classic, he's set up to expand. What's it going to be? Yeah, he's banking resources. Looks like Classic will get a Nexus. So Creator takes the lead. Creator, he's ahead economically. Just has to survive. Survive this push. So Classic is moving in. Stalkers are out. Prism as well. He can dive into the main. So far, Creator looking very secure at the natural. And two adepts taking one-shot probes. This is built to harass, built to deal economic damage. Classic going for the drop. Creator somewhat in position. Oh. Creator, he does respond. Yeah, gets one volley off. Prism does take a lot of hits, and the Prism is zoned away. Oh my god, Prism goes down actually. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rough loss there for Classic, losing the Prism, losing both adepts as well. Massive losses here for Classic. Does get two probes and oh, barely gets the third. 3, 4 probe kills. Some okay damage at a Classic, but not quite worth losing a Prism. And we're getting ready for the counterattack. Yeah, instantly, War Prism's being chronoed. Creator, he knows, he smells blood in the water. He moves out. Creator's moving out. It's going to be a very difficult defense here for Classic. Remember, Classic has the worst economy, had the later expansion. Does have an Immortal on the way. It's going to be a tough hold. It's going to be a tough hold. As Creator's moving in. At the same time, Classic setting up a counterattack. Does shade into the natural. Army moves in. Nice force fields as the Prism is too late. Oh, that should not have happened. Yeah, the Prism is too late and two Stalkers get caught out. Better trade here for Classic, but the Immortal has arrived. Yeah, the Immortal has arrived, and that should be enough. Classic, he attempts a force field. The boys are being pulled. A desperation and hold here from Classic, and he does force this back. Oh, he has his own Immortal. No shot. Yeah, his own Immortal has arrived. At the same time, 8 probes go down across the map. No shot. Creator losing too much back at home. Those 2 more depths. Yeah, those 2 more depths across the map. Drops into the main. Classic, he does give chase. He wants that Prism. The Immortal is abandoned. And the Immortal is going to go down. Well, actually. Oh, can he get it? The Prism gets away. Just barely. Prism does pull out. It's a messy micro there from both players. Very messy. But Creator, he missed his window. He had it. It was there. Again, Creator, he was a little bit premature, pushing too soon with his Stalkers and getting caught out. Drop back into the main. Classic is counterattacking. So Classic defends. He defends back at home, does force a recall. And who's going to be first to expand? Like, it's just very tense. It's just very, very tense here. The game almost ended. Creator throws in a Forge. That tells us he plans on building up his upgrades, getting to a longer game. Prism is zoned away. Classic likewise working towards Blink. Now, when it comes to our setup here, Creator does have certain advantages. Creator has the faster Twilight Council, faster Blink, faster Forge, faster +1. The upgrades are going to be in favor of Creator. On the flip side, though, we do have a faster... actually, the third bases are locked in. Like, they're at the same time. Third bases are around the same time for both players. So Classic is still at a deficit. But he's still in this game. Classic, I believe he does have an Immortal lead. Only slightly though. Yeah, now we have an even Immortal count. As we do see Creator attempt to catch him out. Better trades here for Classic. Punishing the Stalkers, punishing the Sentries. Immortals, they hold their own. He wants more Stalkers. Oh my god. Another Stalker goes down. Zelda as well. Okay, nice harass here from Classic. Harass as well. Wink is now done for Creator. If he sees an opportunity, he can dive on the Prism. Classic has got to be careful. He rotates to the third. He can get a probe. Just the one. This is getting a little bit greedy. Yeah, calm down. Classic pulls away. Upgrades are evening up. We saw the upgrade advantage of a Creator. He does have Charge. Temple Archives working towards Archon production. When it comes to the overall composition, Creator, he should have a better army soon. Classic, he has Ascended. Looks like Charge will finish up in time for the fight. There might be a couple of Archons. Ooh, the fourth base is going to be denied. Does blink in. Does force a cancel. Not bad. Creator getting in position. Supplies are still close. Classic rotating over. There's an observer in position to scout. As they do spot each other. Creator's keeping up. Again, Creator working on a much more efficient composition, going Mass Zealot. Meanwhile, this is very Stalker heavy. Classic sees a window. Oh, doesn't quite get the Immortal. Nice save at a Creator. Picks up the Immortal, pulls away. Trying to bait the army further in. Hoping to catch him out with the mass charge lots. Classic, he does find the fourth base. Immortals, they do get away. And the fourth is denied. Not bad. That's all he wanted. Denies the fourth, backs off. So Classic does back off. And with that, after all the posturing, Classic does take a better economy with the faster fourth. So the fourth is up. It's getting saturated. Upgrades have evened up as well. Even on upgrades, even on tech. It's still very Stalker heavy here by Classic, but we are slowly incorporating more Zealots. No Archons yet. But Classic does have the tech. He pushes in. Creator's out of position. You can see the main army here on the right-hand side. No! Yeah, Creator's completely out of position. The army does move in. And the third is exposed. Yeah, third is exposed. Zealot's taking it into the mineral line. Attempts to warp in. Creator has to go down the ramp, down the choke point. Does try to push forward. The Archons are more exposed. Yeah, you can see all these Stalkers just wasting the DPS. They're just too far behind. Yeah, too far behind here. Nice force fields. Only back more of those Stalkers. Wasted DPS. Immortals, they just go to town. Creator, can he break through? He does lose the mineral line. 18 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Mineral line goes down. Creator, he will defend, he will hold, but at a cost. Creator's all in. Creator, he's completely all in. Creator, he's down to 39 probes, barely an economy. His force just finished. We gotta commit, we gotta push. It's now or never for Creator. So he will break the 4th at least. Yeah, this expansion will go down. Classic is setting up here with batteries. He just has to defend. If Classic can survive this push, he can win the game. There's the recall. There's going to be 3 batteries here at the natural. Is that going to be enough? Oof. Yeah, Classic does take a massive hit to the face. Archons are low. And he's going to get 2. Gets 1, gets 2. Both Archons do fall. But there's still 3 immortals behind this, and another Archon comes in. And Creator, can he do it? Can he break through? Yeah, the batteries are running out of shields, running out of energy. And with that Creator, he has been forced all in, but he does have enough. He breaks through the main army, boys are being pulled, Classic getting desperate, and we're forcing the ace match. Whew, we are forcing that ace match. Again, Classic did take a better fight, of course, across the map, but he was unable to stop the counterattack. And again, arguably, he lost too much for just the economy. Lost too much. We have a series. We have an ace match. GG gets called. We're going all the way to game number 3. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, we did see that Creator was out of position. Classic was able to get to the mineral line, but Classic did commit to the fight. The Immortals were actually quite fast to go down. I will say that the Immortals were a little bit too far forward. The Prism was too far towards the top left, so Classic wasn't able to micro back his Immortals and save them, so they went down actually quite quickly. Once those Immortals were broken, we saw the entire army crumble there for Classic, referring to the fight that was across the map, and then we just counterattack. We just went for the all-in. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match. Let's go. Whew. We're going to the ace match here. We're going into game number 3. Here we go. No force fields or hallucinate from Classic. I did take note of that as well, where there was 1 Archon for Creator, but he did have a bunch of sentries and he didn't force field as quickly as he could have. Did force field towards the end of the fight, but we could have seen it a little bit earlier, just to delay the push a little bit further, just to take control of that ramp area a little bit better. But that is something that Classic was not able to pull off. That is true. That is true. As we did kind of mention at the time, like, you could definitely argue that Classic did commit a little bit too hard for economic damage, whereas it could have been a little bit more conservative, could have killed the base, could have pulled away, for sure. But in the end, we have a back and forth. We have the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, tying up the series 1-1. It is a Creator. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing Protoss Pro, being forced into the ace match. It is Classic. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. Again, a very intense series so far here. We made it all the way to the ace match, to the final game, and this can go either way. This can go either way here. Show us what you got. This Creator, he does move out with this probe. Let's move out. Likewise, so does Classic. Creator just probe scouting, and we'll see if Classic has something else more sinister in mind. Second pylon gets thrown down, so far everything's looking normal. I say that, never mind. Gate into Cybercore. No 2-gate open out of Classic, going for a faster Nexus. Greedier build out of our red Protoss once again. Meanwhile, Creator does go for a 2-gate opener. Creator with the full scout, he does confirm that it is going to be a faster Cybercore. It is going to be a greedier build, and Creator can react and respond with an all-in. Well, that's also why it's imperative here that Classic chases the probe. Just chase, ensuring that this worker doesn't get into any kind of shenanigans here across the map. There's a second pylon for Creator. Nexus gets thrown down. Ooh. Yeah, unable to pylon block. Oh, that is brutal. That means Zealot gets cancelled. Yeah, no Zealot. Classic gets what he wanted. Gate, Cyber, expand. No safety Zealot, didn't need it. No pylon block. And Creator, what's the plan? Yeah, the probe does turn back around, does race back home. Creator opening up double Stalker. And it looks like Creator will expand. Okay. Whew, we have an economic build. It's going to be economic. Of course, Creator is behind, but we'll see if he can make up for that. We'll see if he can make up for it. Stalker's fan out is going to be a robo follow-up here by Classic. Very safe. Very safe. As Creator's going for his own Twilight Council. Stalker's a pick in. They shouldn't get much done here. Just spending energy. Just poking at the sentry until the Stalker does arrive. As we attempt to deny the scouts. Hallucination will get across the map. Likewise, so does Creator. Does confirm the Robo. Confirms the Twilight Council as well. Is aware of the tech. And again, Classic does have a very comfortable worker lead. So Classic, again, he's ahead economically. The reason for this is just greedier build, faster Nexus. That's why the pressure's on Creator to recover and to make up for his deficit. Now, Creator, he will have earlier blink, so we could throw down like extra gateways and commit into a 4-gate blink. Otherwise, another way to recover is a faster third. Oh. Third base is thrown down. Classic moving in with his Adepts. Remember, 2 Adepts taking one-shot probes. Classic does scout the third, but he wants the mineral line. Does want that mineral line. Blink is not yet done. Probe's going to be going down. Gets 1. 1, 2, almost 3. 2 probes. 2 probes go down. Pushing into the main. Again, just going for the economy, trading out the Adepts. Gets 4 probe kills and will save 1 of the Adepts. Oh, not. Barely not. He wants it. He wants the Adepts. No, doesn't quite save it. But still worth it here. 2 Adepts for 4 probes, well worth it for a Classic. Did sustain a bit of hull damage on the Prism trying to save the Adept. It's a little bit greedy there from Classic. Lost punish for that greed. With that, Classic maintains the greater economy, at least until the third kicks in. So Classic does check for saturation. Just further into the main, looking for extra gateways. Again, it's still just 2 gateways. Now we finally get the gateway explosion. Classic is perfectly fine. And Classic has a stronger main army with his Immortals. Adepts shade in, okay. Adepts shade into the natural, getting 1, 2, 3 probe kills at the same time. Adepts, they also shade into the natural base of Creator. No. Adepts, they're everywhere. So far, 6, 7 probes going down. Very nice attention to detail here from Creator. Catching us 7 probes at the same time, though. It looks like 6 probes going to be going down across the market. Do we get 7 as well? He does! 7. 8? No, okay. 7. 7 probe kills as 8 go down across the map instead. Almost equivalent damage. Equivalent damage. And Classic, he commits into Immortal Glaive Adepts. Classic is quite fond of this. Quite fond of this, especially after a robo opener. So Classic is going to double down. He's going to commit. A very aggressive style here from Classic. And we'll see if Creator can keep up. This one goes in. Ooh, going for the warp in right into the main. Uh-oh. And Classic not aware. Sorry, Creator meant to say. Immortals are exposed. He gets 1, he gets 2. Yeah, the Prism is not here to defend. So 2 Immortals get picked off. Massive pickoffs here for Creator. At the same time, Adepts are popping off. We're shading into the natural. Some messy harass there from Classic. Likewise, Stalker's getting called out. Creator, he has momentum. More adepts into the main, more probes going down. Creator, he's committed. He has to go. He has to commit. And he's hitting 3+1. +1 isn't done. Glaives aren't done either. And remember, Classic, he just lost to Immortals. Yeah, Classic is exposed. He's exposed. He's called out. So there's the overcharge. Boys are being pulled, and Creator, he might have just done it. Yeah, he has done it. He has broken Classic. Yeah, the upgrades are too late. They're hitting too late. Classic overextended. He pushed too hard, pushed too far. And he is broken. Does get the Immortal at least. Takes down the Immortal. But I can say the same for Classic. GG gets called. Creator, he will claim the series 2-1, and Creator, he will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Creator, he will claim the series here. Again, Classic had a really strong timing on the horizon. Bear that in mind. He was working towards +1, working towards Glaive Adepts. What did Classic do though? He pushed too soon with his main army, and he lost both Immortals. He lost both Immortals across the map. His Prism was harassing, and it was really good harass, right? It was really good harass in the main base. A lot of workers were going down. Creator, he was being forced to all in, but alas, we saw that Classic was caught with his pants down. He lost both Immortals in the center. He lost the backbone of his army, and that triggered the all-in, that triggered the counterattack from Creator, and Classic did not have enough to defend. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have our two finalists here. It's going to be a best of 5 grand finals between Creator and ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting ready for those finals. Momento. But before the finals, you know what time it is. It's that time of the tournament, pap. Yeah. It is time for the random raffle. La rifa, pap. True. Un momento. Bam. There we go. So for those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, you might not be familiar with this, but we do have a weekly random raffle, a participation raffle. Basically, everyone that competed tonight, everyone that did play is equally eligible for 5 USD. Nothing major, nothing massive, but it's a way to incentivize participation and also to spread the love and to spread the support, not just pay out the top players of this tournament. So 5 USD is available here to all players that did compete tonight, and it could go to a finalist, or it can go to a player that got knocked out in the first round. It can go to Creator, it could go to ByuN, or it could go to Roxas, it can go to Cossit, it can go to Mio, it can go to Dead Remus as well. Could go to anyone. Let's go. Let us go. So I do need a moment here. Un momento. Bam. Do you need a moment? As we set up the raffle. Okay, this week we have 13 players. We have 13 eligible players here for this week's raffle, and who's it gonna be? Congratulations. Bam. Oh, let's go. Congratulations here to Dead Remus, who did get knocked out in the first round for walking away with 5 USD. GG, well played. Quickly checking your Dead Remus, he went down to Nickrat in the first round, but does walk away with some prize money here. Shout out to Rebellion for coming in second. We can see Trigger there in third, Mio, Creator, and Classic as well. But congratulations here to Remus. Hashtag rigged in the chat as always, Pappy, as always, as Remus does earn today's random raffle. Congratulations here, Remus, who does win the raffle. And with that, now it's time for the finals. Now it's time for the grand finals. It is going to be, again, that best of 5, Creator and ByuN facing off. Two good friends here. Again, ByuN and Creator, they're both ex-Prime boys. ByuN, Creator, Maru, all three of them are very, very close. And now they have to face off against each other here in the finals. Let's go. Let us go. Just letting the players know. ByuN, he's always upset when he doesn't win. He's like, yo, what's going on? why am I not winning the raffle? Ay. Este ByuN. Smooch, papi, smooch. How are they running us through the raffle? It just shows it's just for fun. they don't win anything. If we had like a second or third prize for the raffle, then they would be there. It's just for fun. There we go. Here we go. We are getting into our grand finals. We're getting to our best of 5 and spawning in the top right-hand corner. Top right-hand corner here of Mothership. We do have the South Korean Terran player. We do have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the other hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is a Creator. Let's go. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go the way of the Protoss or the Terran, the Creator, or the ByuN? Oh, let's go. Oh, coming into this, I do lean towards ByuN. ByuN, I would say, is a little bit more favorite here, but Creator is also a very unique player when it comes to TVP. He does often have more unique and quirky builds, or even older builds that he does rely upon. I think an example of that is the series against Nickeract. Remember, what did Creator do against Nickeract? He went Feast Colossus. Like, that is such a rare style nowadays. It's very rare, it's very outdated, and it's not really seen too much in the current meta amongst the top players, but that's the kind of stuff that Creator does like to whip out. Some older builds from time to time. Whether it's successful or not, I mean, yet to be determined. As Creator does scout towards the bottom side, will not find ByuN. Again, ByuN opening up CC first, which is very common here on Mothership. So CC first out of ByuN, into his racks, into his gases as a follow-up. So very greedy build here from our Terran player. Creator will eventually find him, and I believe ByuN did skip the SCV scout. Yep, no scout. No SCV scouts whatsoever, and also should be going Marine first as well. We'll see if he does go open up Reaper. Otherwise, we'll be relying on a Hellion scout later on. Yep, Marine first. So we're cutting all the corners, zero vision, zero scouting. We're being greedy. Those changes, as soon as a spin the wheel type thing. I mean, it is kind of like the way that the random raffle works is that it just randomizes all the names and it just lists them in order. So you have just randomizes the list of players. Bam, you get the top pick, and then you have all the others below them, which is why you technically have the ordered list of 2nd to 5th or whatever is shown. Yeah, but there we go. Here we go. As from here we have ByuN going for his 1-1-1 follow-up. Early attack lab. From here we can... it's a little bit too early for an add-on stop, I feel, so we can open up early Cyclone. Again, it's going to be no Hellions here to scout or for any kind of vision, so we just have no information whatsoever, at least until the drop play. Meanwhile, Creator does open up Blink. So Blink is on the way. A higher chance we go 2-gate Blink into a 3rd. We've yet to see that build tonight, but it is more viable here on Mothership. So far, there's the 2nd gateway. And we're expecting a 3rd expansion. Station dips in, does get a full scout. Behind this is going to be a Raven follow-up and early tank production after the first Cyclone. Once again, just ByuN is just chilling in his corner of the map. Like this, there's no way for him here to get any kind of vision except for the Raven. We might even just see a scan. But even then, it's risky because ByuN doesn't even know where his opponent is. Like we're just doing our own thing. True, doing our own thing. A Creator, meanwhile, does go 2-gate Blink into the 3rd, so greedier build, or one of the greediest builds you can go for here in PBT. Going for his 3rd gateway, now going for the Robo follow-up. And both players are in their own way rushing into the mid-game. As the Raven does scout the south side, does confirm that Creator is not in the southern half of the map. Does confirm. Ay, 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 este pecoeta. Buenos días. Buenos días. ByuN does make his way in. The Stalkers are in position. ByuN, he will scout the third. As he makes his way into the natural. Catching at a probe. Does catch a worker. Stalkers, they're outside of the bases here, but 2 probes going to be going down. Another order charge into the main. And that's going to be up to 5. 5 probe kills. Very nice damage here by ByuN. Nice start. Main army does push. And Creator does spot this. And it does spot the move out. As ByuN, he knows it's been scouted. Chills, calms down, waits for the upgrades. Still just waiting for Sim, combat shields, extra metamax. Hoping to catch the army. The Observer does spot ByuN. It does confirm. ByuN, he attempts to commit. So far, nice control here by Creator. I believe he has yet to lose the Stalker. Yep, so far, solid control. Ideally, does want the tank. And can he get it? Gets a volley off. Does get a volley off. Charge is done. Creator doesn't quite push in. Nice force fields. Yeah, looks like the Marauders. Yeah, 1, 2 Marauders going down. Not bad. Doesn't quite get on top of the tanks, though. But ByuN has to back off. Yeah, the tanks are exposed. He has to pull away. Nice save, nice lift. Oh, oh no! Oh, the tanks, they barely unload in time. Medevac does get away. That was close. That was almost game, then and there. Calm down, Bappy, calm down. ByuN does pull away. Behind this, claiming his third. Calm down, ByuN, calm down. And what's important is that he retained his tanks, right? He retained the tanks, he retained the Widow Mines. ByuN, he has momentum. And he's pushing in. He's moving in here. Ooh, catching at the Immortal. Yeah, the Immortal does overextend. Miscontrol here from Creator. Yeah, it does miscontrol. The tanks that wedge themselves in between the bases. And Creator, he's just getting caught out. He's getting caught out. Comes in from behind. He will at least get the tanks. But can he save his expansion? Can he save the Colossus? Oh no! Yeah, he does chase, does stim, does dive. The Colossus goes down, and with that, Creator's being broken. He's being broken. He's lost his high-tech units, the Immortal, the Colossus. Only a handful of Stalkers left. And ByuN is breaking through. Down to 2 Stalkers remaining. Ay, ay, ay. GG gets called. ByuN, he will overwhelm. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Creator, he was able to spot the army moving out, able to attempt to slow it down, almost even caught the tanks initially, did force the initial pullback, but ByuN, he just doubled down. He just kept pushing, didn't take a third base behind it, wasn't getting his own third, just committed on 2 bases and was able to establish himself in between the natural and the third base. It was really unfortunate that Creator, he was kind of rallying in as well, losing some of those high-tech units. The Colossus got caught out, the Immortal got caught out. GG. GG, well played. Whew. As ByuN does take a lead in the series, and again, a very aggressive, very assertive follow-up here from ByuN, and we'll see if he can replicate some of this on the Old Republic. Now, coming into the Old Republic, this is going to be a much more secure map here, especially when it comes to our initial 2 bases, getting to our third base. We'll see how the early to mid-game does pan out. Show us what you got. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Red Terran. Oh. Representing Shanghai Rebellion, leading the series 1-0, it is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is Creator. Let's go. Let us go. Now, we shouldn't be seeing anywhere near as much greed from ByuN. Remember, last game, one of the reasons why his 2-base setup was hit so hard was because of the greed and all the corners that ByuN was cutting. Remember, ByuN, he went CC first. He even skipped the Reaper as well. He didn't go for any kind of a Hellion, for example. Like, ByuN was playing very, very blind in the early game and was building up in towards that 2-base push. It all kind of played into that. This time, though, we should be seeing something more standard out of ByuN. Double gas. Double gas to open it out of our Terran player, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. Creator does confirm. Does confirm the opener. There are different varieties or different, I should say, different follow-ups here available to ByuN. We'll see what he goes for. Whether it goes into committed Banshee play, earlier Cyclones, drop play, mines, I should say. Eyes are on ByuN. As welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is, again, does have a bit of a longer rush distance by ground, has a somewhat accessible third location. The entrance here is quite wide, quite accessible. You can try to catch your opponent out of position, but more importantly, the fourth, right? The fourth is very exposed here on the Old Republic, and we have seen many Terran players struggle getting into the mid game on the Old Republic as well. As a result of that, maintain their fourth base and hoping to get a fifth. It's a rare sight here in TVP, so we should be seeing once again something more aggressive out of ByuN. That's usually what he prefers. So we are expecting aggression. ByuN does move out. This time opening up Reaper. And there's that CC. Okay, Tech Lab is on the way in the factory. Interesting. Going for the faster Tech Lab. With this, he has access to earlier Cyclone production. First Cyclone's on the way. Meanwhile, Twilight Council open it out of Creator. With this, we can work towards Blink. Creator, he is keeping up, does zone away so far, no dive into the mineral line, and we'll see what the follow-up is going to be here as going for the add-on swap. So Cyclone first into add-on swap. Last game we did have Banshee, sorry, we did have Raven harass. Show us what you got this time. As Creator does go for a safer build, that is going to be a Robo before expanding. Meanwhile, Cloak is on the way, investing into Banshees. ByuN commits. Thankfully, Creator is going for a safer style, and we'll have detection available. We'll have access to observers, but does still need to scout. Oh. As the Stalker gets caught, at least tries to. And nice pick up here on the Stalker. And we'll get the other. Ooh, was close. Does trade 2 for 1. Cyclone goes down, does lay the third, and the Creator he will hold. Bit of a back and forth trade here, but he does hold on. My big concern though is going to be Cloak. The Banshees are coming. Cloak is more than halfway done. And even though Creator he has the tools to defend, whether or not he's in position, I mean, yet to be determined. As Reapers are going back into the main. Back into the main base, getting another worker. 1, 2, 3 probes going down. Ay. Rough start here for Creator, losing 4 probes. Yeah, critical damage at the same time. He blinks into the mineral line. Tank is in position. Catching out a Stalker. Oof. And Stalker goes down. Rough trades here for Creator. Forced out of the natural. Banshee does hit the natural as well. Does get across the map. Thankfully, there is a battery. There's a battery in the natural, not in the main. Ooh, not in the main base. Banshee's a 2-shot probes. Not too much damage though. Gets 2. Gets 2 workers. Observers in position. Creator holds. Creator, he does hold on. Yeah, again, a very chaotic early game here. Creator, he did lose a lot of workers to the Reapers. At least the Banshee didn't get out of hand. That's true. Remember, that was a big investment going for the Banshees, going for Cloak. I believe there is a second Banshee, and it does move out. You could argue that maybe ByuN was a little bit overly aggressive here, a little bit premature with that first Banshee. So Creator, he's recovering. Banshee moves in. The Observer is somewhat in position. 2 probes. 2 probes go down. And ByuN is building up. It's building up back at home. Thankfully, something the Banshees are providing here, outside of economic damage, which is a little bit lackluster, is keeping the Stalkers busy. Stalkers are busy back at home, so ByuN, he's free to just build up on 2 bases. There's no threat here to his add-ons. No threat to his natural. This Creator does finally move out. Creator, the Observer, is busy. He has no high ground vision. And no vision of the high ground. Behind this going to charge, and no splash damage yet for Creator. Going for a gateway heavy composition. And opting to go into the bay, into Colossus. Let's go. Now, unfortunately, Creator, he does miss a drop. We have a double drop that does slip out. Creator, he does have a Stalker back at home to defend. He's a Stalker in the main base. Minimal units back at home. He does have a Warpin available. Hopefully. As Creator is distracted. Does get a tank. Tank goes down. Nice pickoff. Double drop does commit in. Creator forced a recall, and Stalkers are going down. Oh, gets caught out. 3 Stalkers do fall. Leading out 3 Stalkers, but alas, he will defend. Yeah, picks up the Metamax, gets 1. Going for the other Stalkers to get focused down. Very nice target firing at ByuN. Oh my god. Takes out almost every single Stalker, and here comes the main army. Here comes the main push. The job does actually trade well. Cleans up all the Zealots. This double drop was insane. Oh my god. That was a crazy trade. He caught every single Stalker and the Zealots as well. We can just go in. ByuN, send it back. Send it. It's playing it safe. Playing it safe. Waiting for his Metamax. Oh, let's go. He pulls the boys. The boys are being pulled. ByuN, he knows he smells blood in the water. He has dealt crippling damage here to Creator. As Creator, he is down to 4 Stalkers. Barely an army. 4 Stalkers and a handful of Zealots. Again, that defense against the double drop was brutal. And here comes ByuN. Observer does spot. ByuN's going for the kill. There are some force fields. Zones away some of the bio. SCVs, they move in. Marines, they cannot push through. Nice mine shelter. Nice mine connections. ByuN, can he break that natural? Can dust him in. Gets on top of the Nexus. Nice tank shots. And Creator cannot engage. Yeah, he cannot engage with this army. Not like this. Second Colossus is... Oh no! Second Colossus is somewhat exposed. He does move in. And tanks are able to siege. Boys are being pulled here for Creator. Also getting desperate. And getting desperate. And ByuN, he's going to keep pushing. He's going to keep going. Oof. And he does. And he does. We'll lose a tank, but Liberators, they have arrived, getting on top of the main army, on top of the Colossus. Nice juggling, though. Oh my god. Very nice juggling. Saves the Colossi. It's getting close. Can he hold on? Recall's over. His third base is up and running. Can he buy a little bit more time for an extra warp in? As ByuN lost all of his SCVs. Despite that, still has a higher working count, which is crazy. It's like oh, no, sorry, I was looking at the other supply. But yeah, down in workers. He has to break through here and now. Creator, can he hold? Un poquito más, papi. Oh, does catch him on siege. Very nice catch. Yeah, nice dive. Tank goes down, and ByuN, he's running out of steam, running out of army here. Again, Creator, he has his third up and running. He has it operational. He's good to go back. Now here he comes. Again, shout out to the force fields, by the way, on top of the ramp. Like, that was the moment where Creator, he killed, what was it, 15 SCVs? So to shut them down on his own. I don't know if he needs to push into this, though. Bear that in mind. Stalkers get punished. Vikings have arrived. The Colossus, they have to get out of here. Again, Creator, we don't have to push in. Calm down, baby. Calm down. We don't have to be here. He's still committing, though. I mean, this does at least keep his third base safe. That is true. His third base is safe. But it does feel risky. Angel's popping up. Boys are being pulled. Vikings, they collapse in. They get one of the Colossus. They get two. Yeah, both Colossus go down. And ByuN, can he take this fight? Takes out all the Zealots. Not getting on top of the Stalkers. And trying to at least. Creator does pull away. He's got to get out of here. Yeah, he blinks away, and he at least has all this room, right? He has all this room to work with. He once again cripples the economy, catching up 14 SCVs. Since how the libs ended, though, yo, who is this Magnat guy? Have some faith. Pappy, we got 51 probes. He saved his boys. He saved them. Getting his fourth base. Did Creator lose his Robo? Oh, he did. Yeah, he lost his Robo earlier, so he has to build it from scratch. There is still a window in time here where he has no splash damage. It's still very tense. Very tense. Now, do we pull the boys again for a third time? Do we? I mean, no shot ByuN gets a third CC from this position. No shot. I'm ready. As Creator getting ready here for... Oh, I'll start fanning out his units. ByuN going to be pushing. Very Marauder heavy. First Colossus is almost out. Creator does engage ahead of time. It doesn't quite catch any units, though. ByuN, he does get across the map. Shows his force fields. Oh! Yeah, locks down part of the army. That's 2 sentries going down. There's the energy overcharge. You see the force fields do delay. Creator buying time. Does buy time. Oh, doesn't quite get the minute back. Army Simpson once again. The CranKy here for Creator. Nice juggling. Ooh, Prism goes down. Yeah, Prism does fall, but Zelzay trades so well. Yeah, Zelzay trade well. Ooh. Let's get tracked into mine shots. Colossus still barely alive. Doing so much in the back line. Doing what he can. One more Viking shot doesn't quite go off. One Viking left. And GG gets called, takes down the Colossus towards the end, but Creator, he survives, and we have a back and forth. We have a series. Ties things up 1-1. Whew. GG, well played. A very, very intense game here. ByuN going for the 2-base all-in. I do think it was the correct call to go for the all-in. Like, ByuN took a massive lead early on, catching out all the Stalkers. I'm still shocked by the trade that ByuN had in the main. Remember when he went for the double drop? He forced a recall back home, went for the double drop into the main base, and ByuN, he traded insanely well, basically resetting the Stalker count and picking off all those Zealots as well. It was insane damage. So he went for the all-in, and Creator, he was able to buy time. He was able to force field the ramp, cut up the army, buy time. He had some very impressive juggling and micro when it came to preserving his Colossus. Very, very impressive, and did barely hold on at his natural. Even had the wherewithal to save that fourth base and to even recall his probes over. GG, well played. Was very intense though, despite that. Like, it was still very close. It was still very close, and I feel like Creator, he was at death's door. Like, for a moment there, he saw the lights. Like, he's that was a crazy game. It's crazy, but here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. Tying up the series, it is Creator. Here we go. we go. Why are they both so aggressive? Feels like ByuN threw on the... I mean, ByuN was 2 base all in, so the aggression made sense from ByuN's side of things. Like, ByuN could not macro out of his kind of game state. I do agree in the sense that Creator didn't have to be as assertive as he was in the follow-up, and he did lose both Colossus as a result of that, as we have our initial eBay block. That is true, but at the same time, like, Creator, he was at least able to trade ahead of time and slow down the push ahead of time as well. I do think that it was very risky from Creator, though. It was very, very, very risky. But here we go. So we are building up. eBay block was denied. Creator can expand. And this time ByuN is going for an economic start. Going for a Rax expand. No second gas this time. No second gas. With this we are building up. And welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is known for all-ins, by the way. Tourmaline has a very short rush distance by ground, has a very open natural, and a very open third base as well, so all-ins are quite prevalent here on Tourmaline. So we're expecting aggression out of ByuN, and already going for a second Rax. So this looks like a 3-Rax stim timing out of ByuN. We saw something similar earlier in the broadcast against Trigger, when ByuN went for a 3CC setup. He went for a third CC into 3-Rax, but this time it's straight 3-Rax out of ByuN. So early sim timing, hyper aggression. Ooh, and that's a Stargate opener. Oh my god. That's unfortunate here. Stargate opener out of Creator. This is very risky. This is very greedy. Usually Stargate openers are reserved for larger maps to keep you safe. The Reaper goes in, and ByuN, he can scout the tech. The Reaper does get in, gets one probe. Doesn't go further in though. Doesn't confirm the tech structure. Okay. That would have been huge. I feel like if ByuN had scouted that Stargate, we can build up into the sim timing and pull the boys and just go for a 2-base all-in and just end the game. Like, so we do have our initial Stargate into Phoenixes. Again, this is very risky against what ByuN is doing, but no one knows, right? Creator hasn't scouted ByuN, and ByuN hasn't scouted Creator. Stim is on the way. Now, the reason why it's quite risky in this kind of setup, and I don't want to go as far as to say it's a build or win, but in this kind of situation here, Phoenixes, they do a great job when it comes to denying drop play, denying Widowmine drops, picking off like Reaper Hellion, for example, can pick off some high-tech units, but specifically against 3-Rax Stim, there are just so many Marines. What are you going to do? Lift up one Marine at a time, and that exposes your Phoenixes to be focused on as well. Like, you're lacking a little DPS, you're lacking a little firepower. The utility that Phoenixes provide to the army isn't really effective against a mass marine composition like this early on. Obviously the goal here is to survive to defend until you have your safety immortals and Colossus. It's going to be Phoenix Colossus out of Creator. It's very, very old school. We saw this once earlier against Nickrat in the broadcast. It's a build and a style that isn't really prevalent, and again, it's so risky to do this on Tourmaline. So risky, but so far unscouted. That's the one thing going Creator's way, is that ByuN hasn't seen anything, but he's still going for his sim timing anyway. Okay. So ByuN is moving out. Creator, he sees nothing. He has seen nothing. When everyone's blind today, papi. And we are going for a safety immortal, thankfully. The battery's on the way. But it's going to be a shaky start here for Creator. Very shaky. Thankfully, ByuN is waiting for Stim. He's waiting for Stim. Waiting for his reinforcements. I believe that first immortal will arrive, and there is going to be the battery at least. Ooh, did he just see? He knows. Yeah. This better be good. He just saw the setup. He's pushing. And we can maybe lift the Marauders. We can try. Does one. He stays in. Game wants the immortal. Does one. It does cut back. Takes down the first Phoenix. One Phoenix does full, and there are just so many Marauders here. Yeah, so many Marauders. Does stem in. Does break through. Gets himself the immortal goes down, and now there's no defense. Yeah, there's nothing here. Again, this is a build or to win. GG gets called, and ByuN will take the 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, basically a build or to win here for ByuN. Winding it back, as we mentioned, typically Stargate openers are a little bit safer on larger maps because you are vulnerable not just to these early sim timings, but early all-ins. Early all-ins, you're very, very vulnerable as a Phoenix player, as a Stargate opener. So really risky play by Creator. On top of that, he didn't even know what he was up against. Like that, it was risky, greedy play out of Creator. He gets punished for it. He gets punished for it in the end, as he had no idea what was coming his way. He was playing blind. Likewise, so was ByuN. That's why it was like almost like a blind build order win for ByuN. It doesn't happen too often, but they happen from time to time. ByuN moved out across the map. He saw the Phoenix. He was like, oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, Stims in, does overwhelm. GG well played with that. ByuN is up at 2-1, and we're getting ready for game number 4. Let's go. Let us go. This morning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself. We have the South Green Terran leading the series 2-1, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss player himself down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Creator. Here we go. Now, from here, this would be a safer map to open up Stargate on. It would be safer, but after seeing what happened in the last game, I'm sure the Creator would be deterred from that. We'll see. We'll see how we mix things up here. Again, Stargate openers are a rare sight to begin with, so we should just be calming down and getting to blink. Eyes on Creator. Again, he does his own thing, more often than not. Like, again, name another player in the last year that we've seen go Phoenix Colossus. Like, it's quite rare. I'm sure we might have seen it out of, like, Classic and Hero, like, maybe once in the past 12 months. Like, maybe. But Creator's the kind of player to embrace that a little bit more often. And so here we go. From here, ByuN going for an economic opener. Single gas, racks expand, a high ground CC will keep it safe. As ByuN this time does not go for a second rack, so there's no early stim timing, there's no 3-rack stim. Standard build. And hopefully Creator is able to confirm this. Hopefully. Go. And again, the pressure's on Creators to make a series out of this. I should speak a little bit about the map here. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, one of the more macro maps as well. It is a little bit easier here to maintain your natural, your third, and your fourth expansion. We often do see a lot of mid-game here in Winter Madness. Fun fact, we have yet to embrace the mid-game. Like, this series so far has been very aggressive. It's been very, very aggressive, so we have yet to really embrace any kind of longer game state. If we do, this is the map to do it on. So we can slow things down and build up into a 3-base economy. I would hope so. I'm sure ByuN doesn't want to get there. So eyes on how aggressive ByuN plans on being. This time does open up Hellion. Okay. Going for what looks to be an early Hellion drop. Bearing in mind that it takes 3 Hellions to kill a probe, to one-shot a worker. Does take 3 Hellions. There's that 3rd Hellion on the way. And if a Protoss player is out of position, if they're late to react, then Hellions, they can cripple them, and they can win the game, straight up. Doesn't happen often, but does happen. So Creator is going to be on point. Behind this is going for a 2-gate blink opener into a Robo, a bit of a safer build. If ByuN were to open up, say, Banshee once again, for example, Cloak Banshee, there would be detection for that. So safe play out of Creator. Hellions, they move out on the right-hand side. We got the Marine drop on the left. Okay. Hallucination does confirm the Hellions. So good scout here from Creator. He's in position. He's ready for the Hellions. At the same time, though, he does miss the medevac. Does split up his army. And does spot the Marines. Does spot. One Marine going down. He does go for the mineral line. Yeah, but he commits in. He gets 1. He gets 2. Just 2. Okay, only 2 probe kills so far, acceptable losses. Hellions, they dive into the natural. Ooh, probes are lighting up. 8 probes going down. We spoke about this. He can one-shot. Oh my god. Losing a Hellion just barely in time. And with that Creator, he will hold. Whew, he will hold on. In the end, 1 Hellion gets away. 8 probes go down. Not a bad trade here for ByuN. Bearing in mind, ByuN, he only lost Marines. He only lost Minerals, I should say. Losing 4 Marines and 2 Hellions. As ByuN's not done. Going for the Raven follow-up. Meanwhile, we can see a Bay before the expand. Very interesting. I believe we saw this in Game 1 versus Nicorach. Okay, it was on Title Citadel, if you remember. So, very safe play. So, Creator going for the faster Colossus. And going for a later expansion. So, Creator's building up into a very early Colossus count. Into the mid-game. And this should keep Creator safe. Should. As the Order Tower does get 1 worker. Ooh, ByuN is being active. He moves out. Creator, did he spot the Marines? The Observer will spot the Bio Army. Creator knows. He reacts. ByuN, he wants to try to sneak up on top of that 3rd. And ByuN, did he notice that Observer? He does see the Stalkers, he knows. He does spot the Stalkers. Turns around. Zones him back. This does give Creator some time to respond. Ooh, 1 Stalker does fall. But Creator's getting in position. He's getting in position. He's ready at his 3rd base. And this is very risky here by ByuN. ByuN bleeding out Marines. These tanks are exposed. As he does get within range of the Nexus, but I believe ByuN should lose this army. We're coming in for the surround. Yeah, here comes a blink. Gets 1, gets 2 tanks. ByuN will lose everything. Yeah, both tanks and all the bio at the same time. We got some auto tower harass with some harass into the bases. 3 probes did fall. Well, these were some hefty losses here from ByuN, and now he's forced back home. Yeah, no. Yes, he will not escape. Losing more reinforcements. Creator, he gains map control. ByuN, he's forced back. He has 1 tank on the low ground. Only 1 tank. He has no follow-up tank production. No tech lab. And that move out was not worth it. It's not worth it for ByuN. And remember, Creator's just chilling. What's he doing? Building up more Colossus. He's building up his Colossus count. Establishing his 3rd. Now he can take a 4th base. His Stalkers, their goal here should just be to get eyes on the 3rd. And contain ByuN. Oh boy. Now, when it comes to ByuN's position here, it's a little bit shaky. He does have potential to recover, though. He has medevacs. He has drop play available. He can try to be active on the map. Oh. Does catch the Observer. Nice catch out of ByuN. So there's less of a chance here for Creator to spot the drop. As ByuN just goes to the main army. Oh. Does go for it. Creator pulling back. Creator is now up to 3 Colossus. Did ByuN see the tech, by the way? Is he aware? No. Yeah, he didn't see the Bay. I believe he didn't see the Colossus either. He's not fully aware there's already 3. Creator, he's built up. A Storm is on the horizon. 4th base as well. Again, Creator, he has a very high-tech army. And he's perfecting it quite quickly. Quite quickly. Meanwhile, ByuN slowly taking his 3rd. At least he does break out. He breaks out of his contain. Claims his 3rd base. Head Templar morphing in. We have yet to begin Storm. Hopefully we started soon. Hopefully. So once again we get more harass, 3 more probes. That's some damage. Oh, actually, Creator, he's intentionally morphing in Archons. Never mind. He's pushing. Yeah, Creator, he's pushing. He's not getting Storm. He intends to end the game here and now. He does have momentum, and we'll see if he can get on top of the tanks. Oh boy. He's going for that 3 Colossus timing. So hyper aggression here from Creator. There's no bunker. There's a little bit of lacking SimCity. I do like the tank positioning though. Here we go. Yeah, +2 is almost done. Creator, he commits. Does push in. Trying to get on top of the first tank. The first tank does go down. And he gets on top of all 3. Yeah, takes out every single tank. The tank count gets completely reset, and Creator, he breaks the 3rd. GG gets called, and Creator, he will tab the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Creator just snowballing out of control. Once again, Creator took a massive lead early on by catching those 2 tanks and the main army in the center, and he just went for the all-in. I say all-in, he had no follow-up tech, no Storm, he had no 5th base either, just committing to mass Zealot into one big timing with those early 3 Colossus. Again, that early timing is unique just because, remember, Creator, he went for the Bay before 3rd. He went for really fast Colossus production for that really fast 3 Colossus timing. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. With that, we're going into the ace match. Oh, where are we dropping? We're getting into the ace match here, getting into the final game of the series. It is going to be on White Rabbit. Oh, here we go. We're getting into the final game, and White Rabbit is a bit of a larger map. The bases are a little bit more spread out, bear that in mind. So rotations are going to be that much more important here on White Rabbit, assuming we get into a longer game. ByuN has been very aggressive this series. Even this game, even though we built up into a 3 and 4 base economy, ByuN was hyper aggressive early on, and he fell behind as a result of that. So we'll see if ByuN calms down a little bit, or once again just commits into earlier aggression. As some of the aggression has been working for ByuN, otherwise it's been hurting him. Here we go. Let's go. Let us go. As we have our final game here. It all ends in White Rabbits. Again, we couldn't ask for anything better here, as we do have the ace match for the grand finals. ByuN versus Creator could go either way. I'm happy to see the ace match regardless. I was leaning more towards ByuN coming into this series, but Creator, he has held his own. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, fighting back and tying up the series, forcing that ace match. It is Creator. Here we go. As we're getting into that next game, ByuN, he does skirt around the edge of the map, setting up for the eBay block. Assuming it's going to be the bit, assuming. The initial racks are thrown down back at home, and what do you have for us? ByuN. Okay, it does move in. Does move in for the block. We'll see if Creator is able to scout ahead of time and shut this down. As the engineering bay does come in. Ooh, and Creator, he doesn't check. Yeah, he doesn't check the low ground, so Creator is going to be forced to expand at the unnatural natural. It'll be at one of the 3rd locations. A much more awkward early game here for Creator, as plenty of progression on that eBay. Oof. Now you can see the SCV is also on patrol, looking to get an eye on the probe movements. Yep, does spot the probe and blocks the expand. ByuN, he will force the linear 3rd base as a natural. And ByuN can abuse this. Yeah, he can abuse this. Basically, this is all this space, all this area in between the natural and the main, which ByuN can take use to his advantage, of course. ByuN does go for the factory before CC, so aggressive follow-up. Here comes the reactor. He can go for the atom swap into reactor Hellion, or even into early cyclone. Now, this isn't like game here and now, but it just makes for a really rough early game here for Creator. It is very common here in this position to go for a Stargate. The reasoning for that is because your early game units, your Stalkers, your Adepts, kind of have a really hard time kind of maneuvering back and forth. Early game Oracles have an easier time rotating and defending here back at home. Oh, hello. Creator going for the counter proxy. Okay. Have my attention. There's the Adamsov Reactor Hellion. Remember, we spoke about this earlier. It takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a probe. And if these Hellions get into a mineral line, they can end the game. And they have choices. They can hit the natural or they can hit the main. Creator, I'm a little bit concerned that he warps in across the map and he has nothing to defend back at home. We'll see where the army is and where the units do lie. As the Hellions are amassing. Amassing those Hellions. 2 ups on the left. Extra gateways being thrown down. It's going to be 3 gates set up here from Creator. Ooh, the proxy gets scouted. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the proxy is seen. Creator, he's moving out. And ByuN is setting up. Bunkers on the way. As Hellions push, Adepts, we do move in. And can we delay the CC? Ah, it gets caught. Adepts are getting caught. 1 Hellion will fall. So we do have a bit of a trade. Bit of a trade here. As Creator does reinforce, he still commits. Again, he wants ByuN to stay at home, but ByuN does finish the bunker. Bunker does finish. There's no warp in. Oh, there's 1 adept. There's 1 adept at the natural base. Hellions, they get into the main. Yeah, 3 Hellions, they bust into the main base. They get 1 probe so far. 2 probes are lining up. Stalkers, they do get the natural. But it's getting out of hand. They're getting 6 probe kills so far. Getting 6, 7, getting up to 8. Stalkers, they bust into the main. The Cyclone gets caught. Ooh. Yeah, the wall was open. The wall was open, but the Stalkers are being cleaned up. And the Hellions are still wreaking havoc. Thankfully, there's a battery. Okay. Thankfully, there's a battery, but that's still 7 probe kills. Better start for ByuN. Does have the better starts. The Stalker gets 1 extra Marine. Oh, ByuN. ByuN. There we go. As the Hellions are still alive, but they should finally be shut down. There we go. Just 1 more Hellion left over. It gets a full scout. It is going to be a charge follow-up into DTs. Oh, he got scouted. No! ByuN scouted. The Dark Shrine was seen. Oh, and there's a cancel. Yeah, I mean, it got scouted, so there's no... it's not going to work. It's not going to work out. So ByuN is holding onto scans. There we go. Safety turrets on the way. Oh, there we go. Further back in the mineral line. ByuN, he's getting ready for the Dark Templar that are not coming, and Creator expands. So very messy, very shaky back and forth here. I would say as the dust does settle, ByuN has the better start. Looking at the unit source type here, ByuN, he killed 8 workers, and ByuN did trade out his army, but he traded with Stalkers and with Adepts as well. So in the end, a greater economic damage. ByuN does have the economic lead as he has an equivalent worker count plus mules. At least the threat of the Dark Templar may be forcing ByuN to hold on to some scans. So there is at least some inadvertent damage being dealt. But outside of that, the pressure is on Creator. Pressure's on. Again, going to early charge, into Archons, into Storm, no blink. The risky thing about Creator's style here is that he doesn't really have much to shut down drops. The reason why it is so common to see Phoenixes or Blink Stalkers as an opener is to keep up with the drop play, right? To keep up with medevacs, to shut them down. Here, the anti-air is going to be very limited for Creator. So drop play can excel. Instead, their early charge would be a little bit more ideal against a more aggressive, committed push. We'll see what ByuN goes for. So ByuN, he initially shuts down the proxy. Storm is complete. Here comes a drop on the right-hand side. There's going to be a spotter pylon to give a bit of a heads up to Creator, and thankfully it does have some units in position anyway. The army is split. ByuN is pushing through the center. Bearing in mind that I don't think ByuN is seeing the mass zealot composition. I don't know if he's fully aware as to what he's up against. I don't believe he has. But he should confirm upon seeing those zealots initially in the main. Yeah, scans, does see the High Templar. It does pull away. It does pull away. Meanwhile, ByuN, his main army, steers towards the left-hand side. Tanks getting within range of the Nexus. Again, there are, what, 3 storms available. But nice split here by ByuN. Nice spread. Kites back into the minefield. Ooh, massive connections. One tank goes down, but the Zealots get shut down. Yeah, the Zealots are struggling. That was the final storm. The final storm. ByuN, he's doing his break in the 3rd base. Creator, he does reinforce, does rotate. Does that create an opening? It does. Yeah, there's an opening in the main. Oof. Creator just being pulled apart. Takes down the final tank. But ByuN, he does pull him apart here. Getting into the main base. 12 probes going down. Came for the production. And the main army here has not been dealt with. There's still Marauders left over. There's still the main army. The storms are not good enough. Again, nice spread here by ByuN. Can he get the Templar? Oh, God. Okay. Thankfully, should not. He's going for it anyway. Yeah. He stims in. 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down. He tanks the storm. And he will catch both Templar in the main, and this is critical damage. He has done it. He has broken Creator. Creator, he has nothing left. Again, it came down to the early game aggression, referring to the Hellions, referring to the early pushes, the early economic damage, leading into this. Leading to this game state. Oof. As that is 20 probe kills. Creator desperately trying to hold on here. Does have the Immortal, does have some extra weapons, but there's just too much man with gun. I mean, it's a man with gun. It's pretty good. It's like yeah, stims in, does focus on the Immortal, and there's nothing left. Nothing left here. Depowers the Robo. The drop is still in the main, by the way. Going for the Twilight Council, going for whatever tech he can. And with that, we have our champion. Went all the way to the ace match. Went all the way to game number 5. It went the distance, Pappy. Went the distance. But in the end, it will be ByuN. GG gets called, and ByuN will claim the series 3-2 over Creator. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN. He will be our Sparkling Tuna Cup number 125 champion. GG, well played. That's a lot of weeklies. That's a lot of Tuna Cups. Congratulations here to ByuN. My condolences to Creator. He did bring it all the way to the ace match, but a really rough game 5 here as Creator. He was late to check his natural. He was forced to expand at the 3rd location. He was pulled apart by the Marines, by the Hellions, of course, as well. We saw that Creator tried to counterattack with his own counter proxy, but he got scouted, and for the most part, the Stalkers didn't really get much damage done across the map. When it came to the early game, ByuN did have the stronger start. That just snowballed out of control. We spoke earlier as well that the counter drop play or the split pushes from ByuN were going to be even more favored just because there's no way to keep up or to shut down the Medivacs either. So we saw just a heavy Zealot follow up there into Storm. Some of the Storms did land, but again, just too far behind. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, as ByuN does claim the series. But again, a shout to Creator, because Creator, he fought hard to get here. Winding it back, exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Bearing in mind that Creator, he took down Classic to make it to the finals, right? He had that close back and forth ace match versus Classic. I mentioned this earlier, but the 2 favorite players, the top 2 seeds of the tournament, were ByuN and Classic, not ByuN and Creator. So to even make it to the finals was a big win for Creator to bring Classic down in the semis, and again, still even went to the ace match as well. So GG, well played. It did make for a fun series, a fun finals, and congrats to ByuN. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the week. Bearing it, also shout out to Dead Remus, true. Shout out to Dead Remus for winning the random raffle as well. How could we forget, Pappy? How could we forget? When it comes to our weekly schedule, you can see it here. Now, Tuna Cups are usually on Sundays. I should once again reiterate that. Our Sparkling Tuna Cups are usually on Sundays. The reason why this week it was on Tuesday is because of RSL. RSL, the Rival StarCraft League, was over the weekend. We were casting the RSL as well. And this weekend, as you can see on our schedule, we also have RSL on Sunday once again. So RSL has been booking up the weekends. So we've been moving the Tuna Cups to Tuesday so we avoid any kind of clashing of schedules. We have been avoiding those clashes. A big shout out to Clems in the chat. Thank you so much for the 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. I'm assuming that's Canadian. But thank you so much for the $10 donation. Thank you, Papa. Thank you. We do appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you. But again, the RSL playoffs have been over the weekend for the past couple of weeks, so to accommodate, we have been moving Tuna Cup to Tuesdays. When the RSL concludes this weekend, we'll be back to Sunday. So Tuna Cups will be going back to Sunday next week. Sorry, I guess in 2 weeks' time. But next week should be Tuesday once again because we have the RSL finals this Sunday. So 3 days of RSL this week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As you can see with our schedule, our next broadcast is tomorrow morning. Is going to be Pegasus Cup. So we have Pegasus Cup in the morning. We have Kung Fu Cup in the evening. More Pegasus Cup action on Thursday. We have the Podcast Thursday evening. OSC Rising Star. More Kung Fu Cup. And 3 days straight of Revival StarCraft League. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Again, a lot going on, a very intense schedule this week. If you enjoyed the casting, if you want to watch some of the VODs, if you cannot watch everything live, and if like Kung Fu Cup piques your interest, or StarCraft Evolution, or Home Story Cup, or Lily Cup, Rongi Cup, Thunderfire, for example, Wardy TV Mondays, RSL, then all the VODs are over on YouTube. It is. So all the VODs are on YouTube. We do stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and also Kick and Facebook and Soup. So we do go live on multiple platforms, but all of our VODs are saved on YouTube. They're not saved on Twitch. The VODs on Twitch are temporary. They do expire after like a month. So YouTube is the place to be for VOD content. All the VODs, pappy, all the VODs. Otherwise, if you want to help support this tournament, I actually didn't really get into it when it comes to the broadcast, so I do apologize. But if you want to support this tournament, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Bam, as you can see on my left, our Patreon specifically funds this tournament. It funds all of our tournaments. We have 3 events. We have the Sea Duckling Open on the left, we have the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we have the Master Swan Open as well. Our Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC, that is a weekly open tournament. The Duckling Open is an MMR restricted 4.2k MR monthly tournament, basically diamond and below. That's a monthly tournament. And we have the Master Swan Open, which is Masters and below, 4.7k MMR. These are monthly tournaments that we have been running since 2017 for a very long time. They used to be weeklies back then, but that's how we started. We did begin the channel, we did begin casting back in 2017 with our amateur events for Diamond and Masters players, and for those who don't know, we actually casted some of the current pros back when they were Diamond. Players like Mixu, players like Baby Marine, players like Gigi Machine. We casted them many years ago before they hit GM back when they were Diamond. Again, giving players the opportunity to compete and to strive to greater heights and to improve as well. So we do host these amateur events. They used to be weeklies. Nowadays, because we cast so much pro StarCraft, we don't really have the time and the schedule available to cover these on a weekly basis, so we do host these events now on a monthly basis instead. But still, in honor of how we began as a casting channel, of course, back in 2017. So yeah, we do have those on a regular basis, and we also have the Tuna Cup. And again, our Patreon does fund these events and does help us grow these events as well, right? You can help us reach greater stretch goals and greater tiers on Patreon if you wish. Again, regardless, we're going to be hosting this event on a regular basis anyway, but you can help us grow the prize pool and help out the scene and help out the players. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, just catching up on the chat. Just catching up. Thanks for streaming in this chaotic world. We got you, baby. We got you. Are there going to be more OC Kings of the Hill? The King of the Hills do run on a regular basis. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to cast them in quite some time. The reason for that is our schedule. Our schedule doesn't really allow for it. Usually OC Kings of the Hill, they usually start at around this time, like at a more European-friendly time zone. But for those who don't know, I'm here in Australia at a more like Korean-friendly time zone. And the OC Kings of the Hill, it starts very late. It starts very late. It doesn't really line up with our schedule at the moment. So that's why we haven't been casting it in quite some time. So I do apologize. Again, we have plenty of content going on. But King of the Hills are something that has fallen by the wayside. Sometimes like Steadfast or Wardy or some of the other community casters cover it. But we haven't in quite some time. It is a fun format though. It's a fun format. GG. Not even streaming on TikTok. We used to. We actually had a lot of viewership. Fun fact. We would get like what 200 viewers on TikTok. Like it was pretty good viewership. But not anymore. Those are curious why we don't stream on TikTok anymore. I believe TikTok, they do restrict it for like IRL streams or like gaming streams because we do like tournament casts. Like it doesn't like fall under like what they allow for streaming. So yeah, we aren't able to stream on TikTok because it doesn't fall under kind of what they want on their platform. So it feels bad, man. Feels bad, but it's all good. It's all good. We're everywhere else. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. Esport isn't gaming. Not for them. You know what? Like personal like gaming content, that sort of thing, instead of esports. Smurge. But with that, we're going to be wrapping up. Who's live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we raid? I do see that Olmade sort of is live. Lambo just went live. Oh, we raid sort of quite a bit here, but we could give Lambo some love. Give him some love. Who else is live? Rex is streaming. Oh, sort of. He's coaching Lorimbo. Ah, that's content. Lorimbo, papi. Did they finish their coaching session? They might have. Ah, that would have been amazing. Yeah, I think they finished. Este Lorimbo. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Oh. Sorry, Twitch ads are playing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Pegasus Cup or tomorrow evening for Kung Fu Cup. Otherwise, we'll see you guys when we see you next time. Ciao, bye, ciao. Hasta luego. Thanks for watching. Until next time.